All right, bro. We are, man. I think we finally got it right, man. I think we finally got it popping, you know?
Yeah.
After so long, you know?
Mm-hmm.
After so freaking long of not having... I had one audio interface. I had audio interface with a freaking XLR import.
Yeah.
Cable. So I only had one of these. But now I have two. And just getting it from Music Masters, from Rick Rubin's store, or Warner Robins Rick Rubin was just so amazing. You know? He wasn't there, but his, like, employees helped me look through it and whatever. They had the smaller earphones I could put on too, but it was like, it's better if you just put it all on your ear.
Yeah, I think he employs both of his daughters there.
Yeah, I saw two girls there that were, you know, into, I mean, I think they have alternative lifestyles. Are those the two daughters?
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's cool. Man, what's going on, Brandon?
Quite a bit, and also not a lot at the same time.
What you mean?
I'm just trying to chill because, like, the last week was just chaotic in the office.
Yeah? Explain in the best way possible without giving up too much details because of how we work.
Funding. Make the funding go from 33 to 90% green by the end of the month.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you were part of organized crime and they told you to do that, it would be a death certificate attached to it if you couldn't get the funding from 33 to 90. Good thing you don't work for organized crime.
Oh, no.
Or do we? We stop. Yeah, so... Yeah, I just think that this is... I definitely like to have conversations between us. I think our conversations are so cool that they need to be recorded. So this is just my chance at it, I guess.
Let's get at it.
Yeah, for sure. So I repurposed my thoughts and resources to just... Because I was really frustrated because I think the last time we came here... Not the last time, but the last time I came with some equipment to record, we had a really good conversation. And then I went back and I noticed that I did not, no audio was caught. And that really frustrated me.
Yeah, I remember having like audio issues, so like I couldn't hear myself with the last mic.
Yeah. So I just had to like, it was the audio interface. I had to get one with both. I had borrowed my cousin's Yamaha, which was a big setup. It had like 4 XLR ports, but I could never fine tune it to where I could get the audio interface to connect with the computer and hear the audio and stuff like that. But this is much simpler, don't you agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Tomorrow is Sunday. I get my son back. And I just like feel like personally I'm getting used to having him. I mean, obviously I've known him for 2 years. He's been alive, but I think I'm getting used to just chilling with him. Usually I'm like trying to figure out how to do activities with him all the time. And now I'm just trying to figure out how, like, if we have a date where it's nothing like Monday, just sit home and chill. But I feel like I have an obligation to take him and put him in front of my mom's face, put him in front of my dad's face, because they don't come to my house. And so it's a lot of ripping and running. My mom lives on one side of town. My dad lives on the other side. You know what I mean? And so with nobody really coming to visit, which is fine, I really let people in my space. I feel like it's an obligation for me to take him to his grandparents. But, you know, my dad's like, you probably need to relax, chill. You're probably doing too much ripping and running. My body was extremely tired yesterday. And so today I just chilled and cleaned up. So I'm just waiting for him to go pick him up tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
Nice. I think I had a chill day. I just been doing laundry myself today mostly.
Laundry?
Yeah, I think it's just like a quarter of my time is doing laundry.
What? Dude, I think that me and you, like, live like literally, I spent hours folding clothes.
Oh, I don't take hours to fold clothes. It just like, I have to wash and dry so much.
Yeah, that is a continuous thing. I will say that I don't mind vacuuming. I don't mind, like, for me, I could have clothes and stuff everywhere, toys and stuff everywhere, but I always have like a clean kitchen. I always make it a thing to have like a super clean kitchen. So that's my thing. If you come to my house and there's a bunch of clothes everywhere, but there's a clean kitchen, it's because I prefer a clean kitchen. I cleaned up everything though, and I had to start off with the clothes because I just let the clothes pile to heaven, bro. It was a Tower of Babel. So it took a long time.
Yeah, if I'm ever blessed enough to be married one day, I want her to do laundry and I will do the dishes.
Man, I tell you what, keep that consistency because The day you miss on doing the dishes, she's gonna be like, "You never do the dishes."
Yeah, I gotta be on it.
Yeah, for sure. Marriage takes work. I should know. I have been there before, but it's doable. It's doable as long as you two on the same page. You know? Yeah. So back to Guyana. Yeah, speaking off the mic earlier about Guyana finding oil. From my understanding, Guyana is a country that is in South America. It's one of two English-speaking countries in South America. Is Guyana in Central America or South America?
It's South America.
Okay, so it's an English-speaking country, though.
I think so. It was founded by the Dutch. They might speak Dutch.
Yeah, so we got Belize and Guyana, those two English-speaking countries, but I'm not sure if Belize is in South America either.
Central America.
Okay, Belize is in Central. Guyana is in South.
Suriname might speak English.
Suriname's definitely speak Dutch. Dutch colony.
They're definitely Dutch.
Dutch colony. Okay. Them in Curacao, which Curacao used to be the Netherlands Antilles. You were telling me they found oil?
Yes, they did.
Did we know they found oil? Like, we've known they had oil?
Mm-hmm.
So you were telling me this now because what?
I found a video popped up onto my feed today about, like, how did this country get so rich so quick?
Because it was a third world country at first.
Very much so.
Yeah.
But it's not that they found oil. It's okay, what are you going to do now that you found oil?
What do you expect them to do?
So some countries have like a fund for their oil fund for their citizens, and the two countries that do it better than anybody else are Norway and the UAE.
Why?
Because Norway puts some oil money into a pension fund for Norwegian citizens from childbirth, and then well, the government's more hands-on in the UAE, but they actually put that into infrastructure in schools.
The Infrastructure. It's the name of an album from early 2000s Bay Area rap music. The Infrastructure. Mixtape, really. Bullies with Fullies. If anybody knows, obviously it's going to go on a podcast, but you know I love the Bay Area. Juice. Independent rapper from San Francisco. I think he's from Hunters Point. Messy Marv, who I think is also from Hunters Point, or he either might be from Fillmore, which is a historic, artistic, and cultural district in San Francisco that is largely populated by African Americans. The .com boom pushed a lot of people into and out of neighborhoods in the San Francisco area, in the Mission District and things like that, and the Tenderloin, and it just created a lot of, gentrification. So that's why I brought it up. It was a mixtape, The Infrastructure. It was good. It was really good. Speaking of countries, infrastructure, things like that, I did want to talk about the war between Russia and Ukraine. Is that still a thing?
Yes.
All right. Well, what's going on with that?
I don't know. I've lost track. I quit keeping track of it.
Why is it that was put in our face, like, and now it's like in the back foot?
I think it was because for us, it was new to see a war in Europe in our lifetime.
But it's not new to Europeans.
No.
Europeans have been going to war with each other for hundreds of years.
Like, we were little kids during the Balkan War, with Serbia and Bosnia, the whole Yugoslav conflict. We didn't know.
No, we didn't. And there's been a lot of people that have been older than us that can have a take on that and an opinion on that. In my world, in the soccer world, I know about that war because the people that we look up to that play professional soccer, they fled from those countries, and those national teams that the countries that end up being split from Yugoslavia, you know, like Croatia. I'm not sure if Bosnia and Herzegovina were a result of the split, but I know Serbia was part of it. Serbia and Montenegro were a country for, you know, from like 1998 to 2006. But Luka Modric is one of those people who escaped the war. He's a famous midfielder that plays for AC Milan. And I just know that there are certain people that I grew up watching in soccer. Asmir Begovic, I mean, like, these people really were involved in that stuff. His family's played to Canada. Yeah. He plays for Bosnia-Herzegovina national team. He doesn't anymore. He used to.
Oh, by the way, there's a joke. I'm trying to remember if I got this right. I think it was like Serbians versus Croatians soccer match.
Yeah.
and there was like a kid was going to his mom, going to a soccer match with his mom, a Serbian kid, and he goes, "Mommy, why do we hate the Croatians?" And she says, "Because they killed your mother and I'm not your real mommy."
That's crazy. Hey, I get that joke too. Oh, that's awesome. That's awful, you know? Obviously, I will edit this out as I'm asking you if you don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to ask you, do you want to share like your background?
Not just yet.
It's okay. And I'm totally cool with that. I thought it was just interesting, you know? I'll share mine. I learned through DNA testing that Nigerian and Angolan, and specifically like more Angolan, like people that were in a certain part of Angola from the Mbutu tribe, they traveled to Nigeria, I think the southern part, and they became a part of Nigeria's culture. And so I'm Angolan, but I'm also Nigerian as well. But people from Angola traveled to Nigeria, and that's how I got there. And of course, like, you know, the slavery thing, to which I think personally there was a war between tribes. My tribe lost, and my tribe was sold by the other tribe. And that's how I got here. I also think, like, when I think about it, like, oh man, the fact that I'm living and breathing is like a testament to like the power of God. Because how did, you know, on the, is it the Middle Passage?
Yeah, I think so.
How many slaves died on that ship, dude? So that you're telling me there's somebody from my family that survived the Middle Passage.
You know what's even scarier?
What's that?
The trade that still went on in like the Arab world at the time.
Yeah, the slave trade in the Arab world is incredulous.
Like back during the same time, more, even though it was a shorter distance, more slaves died going to the Arab world than they did coming to America.
For sure. I mean, just look at the landscape to get to the Arab world.
Now, I'm not talking about like walking. I'm talking about by sea.
They died. Oh, wow. It was just a rougher thing.
It was just like they got treated rougher.
Yeah, for sure. Slavery, people don't realize, like, and I'm not taking away from slavery that happened in America. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm Black history, but I feel like Black Americans just don't get it. Like, we got treated bad, but also, like, there are other groups of Black people that got treated bad too. Like, okay, for instance, like, slavery ended in 1864 in America. It was abolished. But slavery happened for like another 20-something years in Brazil. Slavery didn't end in Brazil till 1880, right? And, you know, I feel like there's a certain inferiority complex that certain groups may have because of that type of stuff, you know? And it just sucks because I was getting my hair retwisted at the shop, and I asked this girl, she's a young girl, 23. You could tell by the way she talked that she was still figuring stuff out. So I gave her a lot of grace. But man, was she loud and wrong about a lot of things. She said something that really struck me. I said, do you think African Americans can make an ecosystem of business and commerce like that of the Arabs here, like that of the East Indians and the Far East Asians? I told them, for example, in this area, in this particular community, the Asians have the sit-down restaurant on lock, right, with Chinese restaurants. The Indians have, seemingly the East Indians and the Far East Asians have a split between convenience stores, right? And then...
Oh, it's not a split. It's not a split.
It's not a split?
It's India.
Okay, cool, sure. Thank you. And then, you know, obviously, like, Far East Asians, like Southeast Asians, like Vietnamese have a lock on the self-care industry. Chinese have a lock on the sit-down restaurants. East Indians have a lock on the convenience stores. Arabs have a lock here on, they just got a lock on sharks, fish, and chicken. So chain restaurant. Indians also have a lock on the coffee industry. Dunkin' Donuts. Indians own that. Hotels as well. Hospitality. Indians run well in that. And I was asking, I was like, well, you know, just how like those communities have them. Do you think the African American, even Persians have a lock on the used car lot industry here? Africans, sub-Saharan Africans have a lock on car lots in Atlanta. They do that, like the Persians do here. I said, do you think that African Americans can have an ecosystem like that one day, like, you know, entrepreneurial? And you know what she told me?
What'd she say?
No. I said, why? She said, Black people, African Americans, don't do anything but mess things up with each other, trying to get over on each other, underpaying each other, I said, what makes you feel that way? She said, I have a family that owns a business, and I worked for the business for like 5 or 6 years when I was young, and they underpaid me. And she said that because of that experience, she felt like black people couldn't stick together. Now, I wanted to raise up and say, okay, so just because you had a bad experience with your family, that means that all experiences are poor. No. That would be like me saying because I got a divorce and there was infidelity in my marriage, that every marriage that I'm going to marriage is like that. Every woman is not like that. That just happened to be my situation. And so I knew she was really young in the brain, and so I gave her some grace. As an outsider, and I ask you this because I know that you have a specific tie. You have a specific brain for this. What do you think?
Depends on the person also.
Say what you feel.
Depends on the person, but then also Thomas Sowell. I listened to a lot of his audio, and he said even as far as like locking down those type of industries, he said like Caribbeans and Africans who just come here actually tend to do better than African Americans in that regard.
And why did he say that?
He said different culture.
Yeah. And I feel like when it comes to outlook on the world, I feel like African Americans, we're good at, or at least as a whole, right? You can't generalize, but we're really good at entertaining. We're really good at entertaining and being really good workers. But as a whole, maybe we haven't figured it out. Now, there are some people who taken the reins as black people and just gone out there and own stuff. Obviously, Thomas Sowell is like one of those guys who has his books and stuff like that, literature on this type of history. Booker T. Washington, starting Tuskegee University, B.E.B. Du Bois and his exploits when it comes to endowments with historical black colleges like Fisk University. You know, we inspire a lot too. Culture, fashion, we inspire, whether it's, you know, professional sports, you know what I mean? Or art, like fashion and designing in itself, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like we fit well in those molds, but it's so individualized that you can't put a lock on it and say that's what we all do, because I'm a 5'11", you know, 225 pound black male. I was not blessed with like LeBron genetics. I played college soccer, but you know, I had to work really, really hard, you know, just to do it. You know what I mean? And so I come from the school of thought where not all black guys are like super athletic or whatever. And by the way, you know, the sentiment is those black guys who are really, really athletic, they're not as smart as the white guy who isn't athletic and has to think. But, you know, if you're dominant athletically and you can think, like, which is something that has to happen. By the way, in American sports, it's like you got to like train mentally before you go out there physically. You know what I mean? There's playbooks and stuff involved with a lot of American sports that a lot of stuff is just not involved with in other sports. Sometimes you can put the ball down and play in like soccer and handball and netball, but with American sports, it's really strategic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of chess. It's basically chess match. It's a chess match, Hunger Games style.
Well, yeah, we really like to be, you know, sophisticated about our blood games. You know what I mean? I was watching this movie called Paterno. Yeah.
I never heard of that. Paterno?
Yeah, man, I didn't either. Al Pacino plays Joe Paterno in this movie.
Oh, Paterno?
Paterno, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Al Pacino plays Joe Pa at Joe Pa's 84-year-old age at the time that he was about to win his 409th game, being the winningest coach in NCAA history. They were playing the Fighting Illinois University. They beat them 10-7. And the story revolves around how basically Joe Paterno and the president and I guess donors and stuff at Penn State kind of covered up a essay scandal that was dating back, 1976 all the way up to 2001. And so I'm going to make sure I be very sensitive when I'm talking about this so that there's, you know what I'm saying. But I noticed just in that, like, a lot of it was centered towards the booth, right? Like, a lot of it was Joe Paterno was at every turn before they fired him, It was like he was sitting down writing practice scripts. He was upstairs, like giving counsel to coordinators about what to do. And all these people were freaking out about things that were happening on the field. But he was just like, hey, like, this has to happen before that happens. So there's no reason for you to get upset. And he was like, if coaches are like calling players MFers and stuff like that for making mistakes, and his son, which was an assistant to him before he got fired, and I think he was going to take the reins as a coach when Joe left, right? Keep it all in the family. But Joe told his son something that I thought was interesting, and I agree with it, which is one of the reasons I walked away from soccer as a full-time like teams coach, because the culture was leaning towards the opposite. And this was what he told his son. Son, if you're gonna blow up every time a call doesn't go your way, or every time a player makes a mistake, you're gonna have a short career. Yeah,
very much so. And I know I guess he probably had some health issues at his age, but I don't care what any autopsy or what anybody says. I think he died of a broken heart after being let go from Penn State.
Absolutely. No, they said that he died within 2 months from cancer after he got fired. He definitely died. It definitely was weighing on him.
Yeah, I don't think it was the big C that killed him. I think it was he died of a broken heart.
Broken heart. Yeah, I mean, he would literally talk about. I think Al Pacino did a great job portraying him. I don't know what happened in real life, but the way that he portrayed him, it was like Joe Paterno was always working on his craft. Joe Paterno was always studying. They were asking him about certain situations when it came to essay with the children and stuff like that in Sandusky, and he was just like, yeah, like, I was working.
Yeah, before Nick Saban started winning all those natties, Joe Paterno was considered the best college coach, not named Bear Bryant, ever.
Absolutely. Now, on the side of this, we have a person who many people don't talk about unless you know elite ball knowledge. That would be Bill Snyder. Bill Snyder.
Bill Snyder?
Bill Snyder. That's how you say his name, right?
No, Snyder.
Snyder? What did I say?
He says Schneider.
Snyder, my bad. He is also have a field named after him at K-State, Bill Snyder Stadium. He still actually works with K-State actually as a consult. Can we talk about Bill Snyder for a minute?
Before we do, I just want to say, go ahead and read Indiana and rename the stadium after Kurt Signetti.
Facts. Indiana was not doing anything. The best thing Indiana had football going was Antoine Randall. That's what I knew about Indiana before that.
And now Indiana won a natty, and their quarterback is about to be the number 1 pick in the draft for the Raiders.
By the way, did you know that he had one more? He had a year of eligibility left.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he is leaving. He could stay another year.
He played 4 years of college.
Yeah, they were saying that he has a potential, or at least he could appeal for it. But, I mean, I think it's best that he goes. He's hot right now. He's red hot. Honestly, I think in the way that he left, I think that Quinn Ewers should have left. Did Quinn Ewers leave early?
No, Quinn Ewers did not leave early.
He left on time?
Yep. And Mendoza left on time. Trinidad Chambliss, I think, is about to overstay his welcome. He was granted an extra season of eligibility.
Why did he want to stay? Why didn't he just come out? Tell me.
I think he wanted to finish the job.
I'm not Trinidad Chambliss, but I just feel like when it's hot, but at the same time, these kids are making money now.
And also, he was not a projected first-round pick.
Well, what position was he projected to be in?
I think it was the second round, maybe.
Second round, which is no guaranteed money. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think there's only 2 quarterbacks projected for the first round right now, and that's Mendoza and Ty Simpson from Alabama.
Yeah. You like the setup?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, no, this is cool. We could do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah, I did want to just kind of like tell you how I felt about you as a friend, though. Like, we met in 2018. I was a rookie in the game at our job, and then
I met you at church before that.
That's right. You met me at church before that. I keep forgetting that. And then we just bonded on some God stuff, and you were with me, and you never left my side, and my troubles I've had in and out, just being a knucklehead, just learning. I just want to say I appreciate you. You know what I mean? You've always been there, Anytime I need to talk, I've been there. You've been there through my divorce. You see me like at my lowest. So I just want to say I appreciate you for being a friend. You know, most of the time, as you know, I've had a lot of episodes I've done by myself. I ain't bother with nobody. But, you know, a lot of times when I want to do something with podcasts, I come to you when it's like double, you know. But also, before we get back on sports, I also got this back up and running too because at Warriors of Christ, Nick wants to do a podcast. And so I was like, are you serious about it? Because I put my mic down for real. He was like, yeah. So I was just like, let me brush up on my skills. And that kind of moved me to go get more things or whatever. And so that's where I'm at now, kind of developing another passion for it. It's been really fun. And just in these past couple of days, because I just got this like on Friday. So, but back to ball. What are we looking at in terms of, you know, next season, team landscapes?
I see free agency in the NFL first, but for college, I'm picking Oregon to finish the job and win the Natty for next season.
That's a really bold thing to say. You just basically said Trinidad Chambliss might as well have gone in. He ain't finishing the job, is what you saying.
Well, I might have to go back and check on that statement because I made that prediction before he was granted extra eligibility.
You think Garrett Nussmeier is going to be drafted?
He's run out of eligibility.
You know what I'm saying? You think he's going to be drafted, though?
Third round, maybe.
Tyler Shock can get drafted. Garrett Nussmeier can get drafted.
Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier went from potential number 1 pick in the draft to third round.
Yeah, they thought he was the one. I thought he was the one.
Everybody, I've realized that what you predicted at the start of the season likely is not going to be the result by the end of it.
What did you predict? Who did you predict was going to win the Natty this year?
LSU.
They didn't even get into the playoff.
No, they did not. I had LSU over Oregon in the Natty.
We basically pick based on institutions. We don't pick based on players.
I actually pick based on players.
Oh, really?
I did. I kind of have a system that I can't really explain, but I use it to make predictions for myself.
All right, that's fair.
And I measure it based off of rosters.
All right. Who's gonna play Oregon in the Natty?
I have to go back. I have to go back and see because like Trinidad Chambliss, I could change the game, but before that, I had Oregon over Oklahoma in the Natty.
I noticed you didn't name UGA.
I want them to.
What's stopping you from doing it?
You see, they completely new offensive line this season. They're going to have to almost a completely new O-line, losing our best receiver and haven't really been hitting the portal hard for wide receiver.
I feel like wide receivers come to you guys dime a dozen. Nah, they don't. But I feel like they do. Our number 1 receiver coming back so far. Actually, we did get one receiver from the portal who's probably going to be our number 1. He was a transfer from Georgia Tech, Isaiah Canyon. I don't know if you know this or not, I am a Deion fan. I love Deion Sanders. So, in the fact that he as a player, as a coach, he worked his way up as a coach, right? People don't realize that because he's prime time, but he started in high school, was in historical black college first of all. Historical black college. Got deals to where historical black colleges were shown on ESPN and stuff. I don't know if they do that anymore, but the MEAC was...
They at least do the SWAC championship game on ESPN.
Yeah. It's not the MEAC, it's the SWAC, right?
It's the SWAC.
Okay. What's the MEAC?
I'm not sure anymore.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, he did that. So I like to give him his flowers because he did do something good. He did bring light to the program, but he had to elevate himself just because those institutions, you know, like any institution, whether it's PWI or HBCU, they're known to be, if they don't have a lot of attention and not used to it, and they don't have the right front office in place, there could be some mishandling of funds.
Hey, Deion put up with being in Deion. He lived in Jackson, Mississippi for a couple years to bring that program to prominence, and he even put up with being robbed twice in his first year there.
Yeah, and you know he had a son there and stuff. So they go to Colorado, right? Nobody cared about Colorado at all since the 90s, since Sal won the national championship, right? RIP Sal. But did you know that there were 0 players invited to the combine at Colorado, from Colorado? That is, to me, I think the NFL is trying to blackball him and blackball anything that's associated with him. So they're punishing other players. Now, let me tell you something. Colorado might have had a terrible season, but there's got to be somebody on there that's worth a shot of getting invited to the combine, no?
Yeah. And the reverse effect of that, Bill Belichick is essentially punishing his own players in North Carolina, but by not allowing Patriot scouts to come look at them.
Yeah, he's doing that. That's low. I will say that's pretty low. That's pretty rude. That's pretty out of touch. But North Carolina, the UNC Chapel Hill hired him, and so anybody who goes there is gonna have to eat that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't really have much to say to that because I'm not gonna sully his name. I'm just saying it's pretty low. To sabotage like that. Because the Patriots organization is the one that is going to, if anything, that's the organization that wants you to put, they're going to put your players on. For goodness sake, the UNC Chapel Hill quarterback was just in the Super Bowl.
For real?
Yeah. You want them to come in, Bill. But I just, a lot of coaches, that's what made me realize, and it also, too, coaches are whores. Coaches are whores. Coaches see player, it's good, sizable or whatever, and they're drooling at him or whatever, and then they get a taste of him, kind of like a whore gets a taste of what she wants, and then once they're done with it, they're off. And if you're not doing something that they want the moment, and then you're off, you're cut off. Or if they find something new. So coaches, to me, have this thing where it's just you're a whore.
I have a personal story about that.
Do tell.
My high school coaches, I tend to have good nostalgic memories of them because of the time.
Right.
For the most part, I see them as good people.
Yeah.
But I was friends with a guy who was 2 years younger than me. He was a sophomore when I was a senior. When I left, he was supposed to be the starting tight end next year.
Yeah.
But he quit the team because he went to go work at Cracker Barrel to help financially support his mom.
Righteous.
And our coaches had nothing to do with him after that. They apparently they even went to Cracker Barrel at one point, and he was when he was waiting there, and they just straight up ignored him.
Yeah, I think that's low. I think that's low too. The way that they go about it.
But now he lives in the Raleigh Research Triangle area, and he sells software for a living, and I think has his own handyman side business too. So,
amen, for real, because he's a real winner. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he's a real winner for that for sure.
Yeah, he was not big, but he was basically a wide receiver playing tight end. He was a tight end that you could throw screens to. I have never seen a tight end play so much like a quick twitch slot receiver.
So basically, he was a Brock Bowers before Brock Bowers.
But he was nowhere near as big. He was a skinny kid.
Yeah, and I bet the coaches are mad because they're we're going to make him the guy, right? Yeah, Coaches hate that. Coaches hate when you don't do what they want. They hate that. And I hated being like that guy. But, for me also, one of the bigger reasons I walked away from coaching whole teams, I'm a soccer coach. The culture of soccer, I don't know if you know about the culture of soccer, but it's very team momish. It's very, my dad owns this, and if you don't start me, I'll tell him, because he pays this much for the team and this much for the tournament, and he gives this much money. That's the type of attitude is. The 2022 World Cup situation was all you needed to know. I'm going to explain it to you. Greg Berhalter was our coach. Greg Berhalter, former U.S. national team player, decent, serviceable player, played in World Cups. Claudio Reyna is his best friend. Claudio Reyna was the director at New York City FC, the academy. He might even be the president of the whole dang thing. He has a son, Gio Reyna. Gio Reyna plays for the U.S. men's national team. They're at the World Cup. Berhalter has Reyna tucked in his pocket in the team lineup. But he wasn't playing him very much. I don't think he played him until like the knockout stages. We got to the knockout stage. We played Netherlands. I don't know if you noticed about the Netherlands, but they're football royalty. They're like football's like number one underachievers. They haven't won a World Cup, but they've been to like 3 or 4 finals. Okay, so 3 finals. So like, you know, when they didn't, we lost to them 3-1, and they beat us. That one goal was a consolation, but the thing was, he didn't play Giorena. I don't think he played him until the very end, or he didn't play him at all. Well, the mom of Giorena went above Berhalter's head, and she like posted, you know, like, hey, my son's not being played. I think she went and complained to U.S. men's national team headquarters or whatever. And at the very least, I think she put some stuff online that caused up a stir. It was just very embarrassing. And so that comes from grassroots level, because when I was coaching, there was this team manager. It was my, I don't know, it probably was like my my 4th or 5th year coaching, and the team manager just started getting his hands a little bit too much into the team, and then he found out one day that like I wasn't coaching. I was coaching his son, and I told his son that he was uncoachable right before the game, because he would always do the opposite of what I'm asking him to do. If I go left, he go right. If I go right, he go left. If I tell him to look up, he look down. If I tell him to go faster, he goes. He just was doing the opposite. So I said, right now in this very moment in history, you're being very uncoachable. And he went and cried to his father on the sideline. His father was right there. And then this happens. And so this is just one example of this dude doing this. This dude did this 2 seasons prior. His son was like the youngest on the team. So I was always recruiting his son on my team because I felt like he was good enough to hang, but he needed to be taught. But I felt like if he got around my program, we could teach him and he could hang with the big dogs. Well, this time, you know, he was on a team that was his age, but he wasn't showing that potential that I had seen. And it was, you know, he didn't have pieces around him to protect him. I had pieces around him to protect him. You know how you have like the weakest player or the player that's not the best, and then it's okay, but you have players around him to help him. People have been in that situation. So this wasn't that situation, though. He was the one that was supposed to step to the occasion, and he didn't have any covering, and you could see it. And so I wasn't picking on him. I was just letting him know, like, you got to let me coach you. And so this guy, the dad was like, he started yelling, you don't tell a player that he's uncoachable 5 minutes before the game, 10 minutes before the game. And then my coach, I'm the assistant coach, the head coach was like, what do you did that? And I was just like, oh, okay, so you're not even backing me up here. You're like letting the parent rule the roost. And so he always was going to try to get me fired. Now, keep in mind, soccer is something that I enjoy doing on the side after I get done with my career. When I get done, in some form or fashion, I'm engaging in soccer, whether it's prepping for it, working out, eating right for it. I play on an amateur team, for goodness sakes, to this day.
Sounds exactly like baseball culture.
Yeah. But soccer is a completely different beast because they're more entitled than you could ever know. And I don't know the exact reason why. In the way that we handle things, like the way that we, you know, like fouls are a strategic part of the game. But the way that we give in the fouls as soccer players is just awful. Like if I touch you, you fall. Oh my gosh! Like somebody shot him or whatever. You know, and I don't like that. You know, it's flopping. It permeated into the basketball culture pretty well too. Actually, it's in the NFL now too. You know, it's like yeah. And so those type of things is why I stepped away from coaching. I do coach privately, individuals, but you know, to coach a full team, knowing that the soccer mom mentality is out there, and people jump, and other parents would be like, you know, if you're not playing my kid half a game, which is in club soccer, you have to play kids like half a game, or at least 25 minutes a game. I'm not sure, but you have to play them. And I thought it was just such a fallacy, because how are you going to tell me I have to play a kid when they have to earn their playing time? And that's the difference between travel and upward, or travel and rec. When you go rec, everybody gets to play. When you go to travel, you have to earn your playing time. That's the difference. When I came up, that was the difference. And so, the only time that you don't have to trade, like you don't have to give them playing time, is during tournament time, or like there's a level that's really high. You get it how you live, but I wasn't at that level, and so I'm just like, man, like I don't like this culture. I don't like the culture that I've been in for the past almost 20 years, coaching it. I think I'm gonna step aside, do my little individual thing, and I still play. But see, as a player, I'm 31. Playing on a high-level amateur team with kids who are 17 to 25 or whatever. Some of them still are in high school. And even there, even on this team, I could see, like, the political thing widening and stuff like that, you know? It's just interesting to see how that works. I don't really care too much about it anymore. I just do it as an activity, a physical activity, you know what I mean? But, yeah.
I feel like everything goes that way eventually if you are in it long enough.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, yeah, because I've been in it for so long. I mean, I've been in it for so long that I'm playing. The kids that are my teammates, I coached them when I was a coach. My goalkeeper coach, I used to coach him. You know what I mean? One of my coaches from last season, he was my teammate in high school. And sorry, I'm itching my ear. It feels really good. Oh, man. Sorry, bro. What does organized crime and the NFL have in common?
You tell me.
An Italian presence.
Italian presence.
Yeah, have you noticed that? At the coaching level, there are people of Italian descent that are coaching in the NFL. Nick Sirianni, for goodness sakes, Joe Paterno was in college.
Vic Fangio is a coaching legend.
Vic Fangio?
Yep.
Who's that?
Vic Fangio is one of the greatest defensive coordinators ever.
Tony Sparano?
Yep.
Let's find some other Italians
At the coaching level. Steve Spagnuolo.
What did I say? I said Tony what?
Tony Sparano.
Those are two different people, right?
Well, I think, yeah, those are two different people.
My Giants defensive coordinator was Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah, Steve Spagnuolo, who's also been the DC for the Chiefs for a while now.
Yeah, Kurt Signetti.
Yes, and Kurt Signetti is the best college coaching hire post Saban. He acts like Saban too. Does not smile until you win.
Why is it that Italian culture is so prevalent in the NFL at the coaching level?
I think it's because like you need a.
What's the cultural significance? Why is that a thing?
Back in the day, I think it used to be baseball that they were more into, but now it's like it's a hardened sport. You need hard men. They tend to produce hard men, I think.
That's one thing. Another thing to add on that, I think, is back in 1920s, 1910s, soccer was actually very popular in America on the northeastern part of the United States. It was in New York. I think it was the New York Italians. It's one of the first. I could be saying it wrong, but I think Bethlehem Steel also maybe. But those are some of the first amateur, close to pro as you can get teams for soccer, and I think they were very successful domestically, and they carried that into the first World Cup, 1930. We finished third in the first World Cup. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
We finished third place in the first World Cup. People don't know that.
Hey, by the way, has everybody qualified for this year's World Cup yet?
Oh, that's a good question. No, but we can talk about it. I got this right here.
Because, of course, I want the United States to win, but my backup option, whenever the U.S. gets eliminated, my backup favorite's the UK. Only because there's a song called Three Lions, and I want a remix of that song of them finally actually winning the World Cup for the first time in like 60 years.
All right, let me help you out here real quick before we get on this. I have an international audience. I don't know if they're still going to be tuned in by the time I put this podcast up, but just so I don't run afoul, I'm going to help you out. When you said UK as a national team only competes, Great Britain, right? They only compete at the Olympics as Great Britain. At the World Cup, you could have England qualify. You could have Northern Ireland qualify. You could have Wales qualify. Obviously, those three things. And you could have Scotland qualify.
I should clarify. I should clarify. My backup, if not the U.S., is England.
There you go. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just want to put you on the game because I do have an international audience. But yeah, Great Britain does get together as those four and play in the Olympics. I wanted to let you know that. Yep. So we have the teams that have qualified for the World Cup. So as of February 2026, several nations have secured spots for the 48-team 2026 World Cup. Canada, Mexico, USA are automatically qualified because they're in North America. Alongside Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador, Paraguay, and Uruguay. They're from the Commonwealth, which is South America Confederation. Other teams that qualified: Japan, Iran, South Korea, Jordan, Australia, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. That's how you say Qatar, folks. You don't say Qatar. Goodness gracious, don't be so ethnocentric. Saudi Arabia, New Zealand, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, Algeria, Ghana, or Cape Verde, South Africa, Senegal, Ivory Coast. And then I was talking, there's a team from Oceania that qualified, New Zealand. And then, there's Asian teams that I mentioned, and then African teams that I mentioned as well. Now, these are the UEFA, which is the European Confederation, that qualified so far. England, France, Croatia, Portugal, Norway. It says, and others. Let me see. Yeah.
When we get done with all the people, I wanted to talk about my trip to Portugal.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. Ivory Coast, France, Croatia, Norway, Germany, Netherlands, Australia, Belgium, Scotland, Spain, Switzerland, Curacao, which is from the North American Confederation. Curacao, I think either them or Cape Verde are the smallest countries to qualify. I'm not sure.
Maybe not the smallest, but I could have sworn that there was supposed to be a Haiti.
Haiti did qualify.
Yeah, because Haiti was supposed to be playing in a game in Atlanta.
Haiti qualified. Haiti qualified for the first time since 1974. I love that. By the way, just on some soccer stuff, hold it. I want to talk about your trip to Portugal, but real quick, I just want to tell everybody, Haiti is not to be slept on. Haiti is a soccer team that can play soccer. And don't let this small nation fool you. They're very, very talented, very, very athletic, very disciplined. That's how they got to the World Cup. This is the best Haiti team you've seen since probably 1974. Curacao is a former Dutch colony as well. Yeah. And they have a bunch of, basically all the players from Curacao are the people who weren't able to make the Dutch national team, which is bad for the rest of the world because a B team, the Netherlands, the B team Holland is going to be crazy. Panama, and I think that's thus far. We've got some playoffs we have to finish, right? So this is how the playoffs going to go. So it says 42 of 48 teams have qualified, and you've got playoff tournaments. The playoff tournament qualifiers are these people. Okay, there's 6 teams in these playoff qualifiers. Bolivia, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Iraq, Jamaica, New Caledonia, Suriname. In the AFC, which is the Asian Federation, the Asian Confederation, 8 direct spots are issued for those who qualify, plus one playoff tournament place, which is how Iraq got in. They're in the playoff spot. Africa's Confederation, the CAF, has 9 direct spots plus 1 playoff tournament place, which is how the Democratic Republic of Congo got in because they had to play in a confederation playoff between them, Nigeria, and like 2 other teams, and they won it. And then you got CONMEBOL, which is South America's confederation. That's 6 direct spots plus 1 playoff tournament team. That 1 playoff tournament team in that playoff qualifier is Bolivia, known for their high altitude. It's very, very, very difficult to play there. If you're playing an away game, anybody knows if they go play away at Bolivia, like they're probably gonna tie or lose. It's very hard to win there. Altitude is like they're like 15,000 feet in the air. Yeah, even the most in shape people, body adjustment is terrible. And then you got OFC, which is Oceania, right? That's like Samoa, New Samoa, Tonga, all that. By the way, I had a teammate who played for the 2014 World Cup qualifying team, American Samoa. His name is Ali Ryan Mitchell. He played for the national team. He scored a goal in the qualifiers. They made a movie about they made a documentary movie about it because what was surrounding it was the first transgender soccer player to play on a soccer team. And I forgot the name, but it was a transgender player. It was a man that wanted to be a woman, and they were playing on that team. Ryan scored in that. There's a movie made about it, or a movie documentary, docu-movie, I don't know. And then the coach's name was Thomas Rongen. Thomas Rongen is a famous Dutch American soccer coach who was just loved and renowned in the soccer world in America. And then you got OFC has 1 direct spot plus 1 playoff place. So only 1 team from Oceania qualifies. And then New Zealand was a team. And then they got 1 playoff place tournament team, which is New Caledonia. I think I'm saying that right. And then you got Suriname, who was thrown in there in the playoff place. But anyway, UEFA has 16 freaking direct spots. Europe has the most spots that can qualify direct. So anyway, now we're at Portugal. Let's talk about your time in Portugal.
I was surprised by how affordable the place was. By far the most expensive part was the flight there.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, they used the euro over there. It was like 2.50 euros for a 30-minute ride on the train.
$2.50.
Yep.
Which is like $3.50 for them.
Well, it was basically $3 for them.
Yeah, and you could take the train anywhere, to any country.
Not country, but taking the train from the business district to the old city.
So you've got a historical place.
Yeah, Lisbon. So you had the old town, which is all that old architecture is, and then 30 minutes away was where I was staying at, the business district, which is the more modern, has some skyscrapers.
Yeah, and you mentioned that there's no air conditioning in the hotels.
There was no AC in the hotel, but that did not matter. That was the perfect climate that time.
Did you have a bidet?
A bidet? No.
You know what a bidet is?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't have that?
I did not have a bidet. There was a button on top of the toilet to press to flush it.
That's common.
The shower was not my favorite.
Didn't spit.
No, here's what it did. Like, you know, sometimes those like sprinklers that you hold over your head for the shower. That was the shower.
That was the shower?
Or I learned too late that you could adjust that sprinkler to like go up so it could be above you. But for the first 2 days, I was holding it over my head showering because I didn't know better.
Yeah, so probably not the most amazing experience taking a shower.
No, it was a small shower too.
Yeah, portion size food?
Mixed.
You said it was small portions, didn't you?
Well, the desserts were.
Oh.
The desserts were not too sweet. Like, I was never afraid that I was going to get diabetes eating the desserts.
So you're saying it's a lot healthier over there?
Yeah, Europe has us beat in the dessert game by far.
Really?
Yes.
Not too sweet, not too rich.
Yeah, not too rich. Apparently, like, the UK people in the UK think our Hershey's bars taste like vomit to them.
Dang.
And then in Europe, Subway bread has so much sugar in it, it's legally classified as cake in the EU.
Really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. No wonder people can't lose weight here.
Yeah, but then sometimes they will give you some food, because I went to a seafood restaurant for dinner. I think I had a Chilean sea bass, I think. Yes, a fish.
A Chilean sea bass in Portugal?
Yeah.
The heck?
Well, you can import fish.
Yeah, you can.
And then I wanted a side of like rice and beans.
Yeah.
And they brought out a pot of rice and beans.
Holy crap. Side. A pot of rice and beans?
Yes, a pot. I maybe ate a quarter of that pot.
You took it home to rest?
Nope.
Oh, they don't let you take food home?
Oh, you can. I just didn't want to be carrying a bunch of food around to weigh myself down.
And you were walking everywhere?
Yeah, I was walking everywhere or taking the train or an Uber for the further away stuff.
So you didn't need a car?
Well, we took an Uber when we needed a car.
I mean, like driving.
No, there was absolutely no way I was going to be driving there because the road was the only place where they were not friendly. I would have not been prepared to drive on their roads.
Me, myself, I would have tried to drive. I'm not going to lie.
I did not see a single house when I was there.
For real?
All it was like high rises and apartments.
Yeah, I can imagine like housing is for the ultra rich in Europe.
Well, in Portugal, I think guessing like out in the countryside of Portugal, there's more houses, but in Lisbon, it was basically the largest urban environment that I've ever been in.
Can you imagine how expensive it must be to buy a house in Europe? It must be super expensive.
Depends. Portugal's actually affordable compared to the rest of Europe. There's a lot of people go there to retire.
Yeah, I bet if you're in England, you forget about it though.
Depends on where in England. Birmingham is not that great, so it might be cheaper.
Yeah. Birmingham. I wonder if Birmingham there mirrors Birmingham here.
Well, Birmingham here was named after Birmingham in the UK, and Birmingham in the UK was also an industrial city.
Yeah, it was known for steel. It was like really big in the first industrial revolution, right?
Yep, and then Birmingham, Alabama was the steel city of the South.
So it kind of does mirror, yeah. And they're both forgotten cities. Yeah, both places have sports.
Honestly, I heard these days Ireland is more expensive than England.
I believe it. I mean, like, Ireland has really bulked up their tourists. Like people go and visit Ireland for like tourists.
Also, they're a tax haven now, somewhat.
Really?
Yep. For like tech companies.
I kind of see that, man, because like we do like football is like locked. Like football goes there and plays a game, right? College football.
Yes. The first Notre Dame usually I think will go there,
right? Because there's a Catholic
Fighting Irish,
yes,
literally the Fighting Irish.
Yes, and I bet Ireland loves them. Every time they go, I had Irish teammates. That one that he was a goalkeeper like me, and he was actually in FIFA, one of the FIFA games. He played for. I had one teammate that was an outfielder. At three actually, no four. One was a goalkeeper. The rest were outfielders, and one of them one day I caught him betting on Northern Irish Premier League soccer games when sports betting was illegal in America online. He was betting. I said, "How are you doing this?" He was like, "I'm using a VPN." So that was the first time I heard of a VPN. Yeah, I was like, "Get it, boy." And that was like back in 2015, though.
Ooh. So I wanted to show you some photos of where we were in Lisbon, and just the architecture was just like I feel ashamed.
Yeah, we don't do this anymore. It's just weird. This is not even our style. Maybe in the Northeast,
a little bit, but. Imagine like a whole city.
Holy crap. And, people didn't read back then, so they told stories by painting. They told the story of the Bible by making art.
That was the inside. That was just the inside of a church.
This is beautiful. This is Portugal outside.
Lisbon specifically.
Yeah. I see the roads are narrow and they're cobblestoned. Kind of, right? Ooh. Yeah, you can see how the infrastructure is built. This is old.
Very hilly. You will get a calf workout walking there.
Yeah. I like this. This is good. Does it rain there?
It didn't rain the whole time we were there, but it's a Mediterranean climate.
Yeah.
It was like the most perfect climate I've ever been in.
So they're the Iberian Peninsula, right?
Yes.
So they're close to like they're like close to like Africa, right?
Relatively.
Yeah, they were big in the slave trade.
They started it.
Portugal started the slave trade?
They started it.
Really?
Yep. The joke is that Portugal did colonialism before colonialism was cool.
Well, if my memory serves me correct, Brazil is a former Portuguese colony. Mozambique, Angola.
Yes.
Macau, which is a sort of tax haven and also a casino place.
It's the Vegas of China.
Right. It's a sovereign nation, right? But it's in China.
Yeah, it's like Hong Kong.
Yes. Yes, people go there to gamble. It's like the Chinese Monaco.
Very much so.
Yeah. Capo Verde, Cap Verde, which I don't know if you guys know, that's where some of the most beautiful people are, because the Portuguese people mixed with the Africans there, and they just made kids that look like my son, which are multiracial, and all beautiful. So, not saying that that is the most beautiful, but I'm just saying, like, dude, they're aesthetically pleasing. It's like East Africans, right? Beauty is now the beholder, anyway, right? So yeah, Portugal. Slave trade. Portugal started the slave trade. There's only one Spanish-speaking country in Africa.
Was it Equatorial Guinea?
Yeah, dude, you're amazing. You're on it.
You're the one who revealed that to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I mean, it's just so unique. Nobody else speaks Spanish except for them. I mean, there might be an enclave in North Cameroon that speaks it, because there's a relationship between a certain part of Cameroon and a certain part of Spain, because they share, like Samuel Eto'o came from Cameroon to Spain. And ever since then, I mean, even before him, Roger Milla and this dude named Thomas Nkono, ever since those guys, it's been like a pipeline for Cameroonian players to come over. But like a lot of that pipeline has been switched from Cameroon to France, because obviously French colony. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else happened there. Oh, yeah, I did not. With the exception of cigarette butts, they like to smoke in Europe. They like to smoke cigarettes. With the exception of cigarette butts, I did not see a single drop of trash on the street.
Not a single drop?
Nope.
You know, they say the same thing about Singapore, too.
Oh, yeah, Singapore is more strictly enforced.
You get a death penalty for littering?
Nope. But there was, in the early to mid-90s, there was this American kid there who got arrested for graffitiing in Singapore. And his punishment, he wasn't sent to prison. He was beat with a Singapore cane. The literal And there's no, like, set amount of lashes for that. Like, they just, like, they beat you until they think you learned your lesson.
Jeez. Isn't there some type of coup going on in one of those Asian countries?
I'm not sure that there is right now.
Some country was like, there's a coup. Is it not Malaysia? It's Myanmar.
Yeah, that's been that way since 2020.
So it's right now there's a fallout, political fallout there.
I think it was more started off with them trying to genocide a particular ethnic group there.
All right. Wow, this again. All right, you're gonna create another Ruslan. You know who Ruslan is?
Ruslan.
Yeah, this dude named Ruslan KD.
Oh yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah, his family fled from Azerbaijan because they were trying to ethnically cleanse a certain people. I think he's Armenian though.
Yeah.
So he came over just like he's Azerbaijani, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I do know that the Kardashians fled Armenia because the Armenian genocide was killing Armenian Christians. I do remember that. So the reason why we have Kim Kardashian is because, you know, Kim Kardashian might have been doing her traditional things in Armenia if it hadn't been for them trying to kill.
I actually have a good Armenian joke, I think.
All right. Shout out to Heinrich Mkhitaryan. He's also Armenian. He's the best Armenian soccer player ever.
So it was from this redneck comedian named Trey Crowder, and he's in the middle of nowhere, North Tennessee. Became a comedian. He lives in L.A. now, and he's like, people come up to me in L.A. and it's like, hey, is the South really that racist, like institutional racism? He's like, why are you asking me? The LAPD's right there. And then he's like, individually, one-on-one, I think an LA racist can hold their own against a papaw from the South.
A papaw?
Yeah, a papaw.
In terms of racism?
Yep, just like one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. From my experience, it's going to be controversial, but I think that people on the West Coast can be, I mean, not West Coast, but people that don't have populations of black people as prevalent or different, you know, ethnicities can be more racist than those who have a majority of different ethnicities. You know, whatever. What I'm saying is, I feel like the person that's from Nebraska and only seeing maybe 4 or 5 black people their whole life might be more racist than a person who was raised in Tifton.
Yeah, segue into that, because like what I heard is like when integration started in schools, like Boston had the toughest time with it out of any place in the country, and the South had the easiest time with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a thing because most of the time, I mean, if we're talking about black people specifically, I feel like the racism on us could be the caricature that people that haven't been around enough black people, there's a caricature of us, which is undisciplined, party, loudmouth, lazy, because they haven't seen a bunch of black people. They might be like, oh, that's what they are. You know, they like to rap, play basketball, eat chicken. Everybody likes chicken though. But right. So I just like, I think that could be a thing. Because most of the time here, the race, like, the patronizing. Am I making it right? The patronizing is like on 1,000 with the person who is from Idaho versus, you know, Valdosta, Georgia, or whatever, or Virginia or whatever. Because, you know, I feel like there was this time where I was going to a place. There was like a musical. It was like a speakeasy or something. I don't know. But before I went, there was this. I went with this group of people, and there was this girl. She was Jewish, and when I say this, like, I wasn't making any. In my mind, it wasn't disparaging, but I was just like, "Oh, you're." She was like, "Yeah, I'm Jewish." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, you know, you guys are really good with finances." Like, I didn't feel like that was racist at all, but there was this woman on the side of her with this freaking blue hair, and she was just like, "Are you okay? He didn't offend you?" Right? I was like, she was like, "No, like, we were having a conversation." But it feels like there are people that are more, they're more offended for you than you are for yourself. Those are people you gotta get away from. Those are really racist people. People that are like, oh, these people, they need their rights and they don't have, like, okay, for example, whoever made the whole black people can't be racist thing, they're racist. They're racist. They're the ones that hate black people with a passion. Because what you're saying is, this is the thing. If you say black people can't be racist, you're gonna say why? You're gonna say because black people have never been in a. People say for you to be racist, that means that you have to have influence. You actually have to have something that makes the needle move, right? Economically or whatever. That there's a consequence with. And they're saying that basically black people have never had anything in this country. Therefore, they can say whatever they want. And it doesn't matter because their words don't have power. Their actions don't have power. That's super racist. No. There's been black people that have done things in this country 10 times over. So for you to sit there and say that I'm offended when I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like somebody, you know, coming to you and like somebody says something to you because they know about your background or whatever, and then this person comes out of nowhere and be like, don't say that about him. That's wrong. And you're like, I'm cool. It's like, no, that offends you. I know that offends your people. It's like, you don't know that. I just told him I'm cool. Why don't you sit down somewhere? There's a lot of people that patronize, you know? And that's one thing I don't like. Yeah.
So back to the joke real quick. So he's like, yeah, Papaw, he's got all his basic foundations down. Black folks, Mexicans, gays. He's like, Papaw's probably never met a Jewish person, but knows enough to be dangerous. And he talks about how this lady, this LA councilwoman in LA got this audio leaked of like her just saying all this racist stuff. He's like, this lady was being racist against Armenians. He's like, Papaw's ain't got the skill set for that. Papaw can't spell Armenian.
Not gonna lie, that joke was bad. But it was funny. Wait, let's try this real quick. Try this one. See how this one works. No, like, unplug it. I got it.
All right, I can hear myself.
All right. Cool. I was just making sure that one worked too. It's good. Yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, bad joke.
Nah, I'm just. I just was like, wait, say it again.
He's like this lady, this LA councilwoman lady. He's like, she was being racist against Armenians. He's like, Papa ain't got the skill set for that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Papa does not have the skill set for that. No, he doesn't. Who's your favorite pick to win the Super Bowl?
I gotta see free agency. First, but if it was the same, for the most part, the same teams at the moment, I would pick the Seahawks to repeat, and I would have them do it over the Ravens this time.
You keep throwing these teams and they're never gonna make the Super Bowl, man. One time you said the Browns were gonna make the Super Bowl, dude.
That was when they still had Baker.
Yeah, nah. So you're saying that the Seahawks could go on a run like they did with Russell Wilson them.
I think they could, as long as they keep their heavy hitters on their defense and JSN.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp won another Super Bowl, dude.
He did.
On the low.
Although, let me see. Also, they did keep their defensive coordinator.
Who is it?
Some guy named Aiden Durde.
Aiden Durde. Okay, so I did want to ask, the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
They had a lot of alternates and stuff, I guess.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it?
Get rid of it.
What are we replacing it with?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, that's a lot of money on the table that they feel like they just can't.
You could save money.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, they don't even go to Hawaii anymore for the Pro Bowl.
Where is the Pro Bowl now?
Orlando.
Oh, they're being cheap. They're being cheap about it. Yeah. They're being cheap about it. Well, I mean, is Aloha Stadium... Is it tore down yet?
Not yet, although I think that stadium got condemned like years ago.
Infrastructure's bad.
Yes.
Okay. Shout out Colt Brennan, man. R.I.P. Mm-hmm. We would have not known about Hawaii University if it hadn't been for that. University of Hawaii.
And before him, Timmy Chang.
Who's that?
He was setting a bunch of QB passing records there before Colt Brennan.
Did he end up playing the CFL or something?
Not sure, but Timmy Chang, I think, is the head coach at Hawaii now.
Oh, okay. They're not good anymore, are they?
By Mountain West standards, they're okay. Like, they've always been an offensive-minded, spread-the-ball-out team.
They have always been a pro-style offense, for sure.
More like a spread.
Okay, spread. Yeah, because there ain't been no pro players come out of Hawaii since Colt, right?
And this wide receiver named Devon Best, who got a reputation for dropping passes.
That is not a reputation you want to have.
Yeah, like I've heard when he played for Cleveland, and I heard Cleveland fans say before, don't let Devon Best hold a baby.
Jeez, he's going to drop it. That was funny. Don't let Devon Best hold a baby. Speaking of Best, Javad Best, he's a San Francisco PD cop.
Really?
Yeah. You remember Javad Best?
I remember Javid Best.
Javid Best, yeah. He played for the Lions.
He did?
Yeah. He was either before or after that Kevin dude that was at UCF.
After.
Yeah, he was playing there. And, because remember, the Lions had that good team.
I think Best could have had a good career if not for all those injuries.
Yeah, for sure. He was fast. But, yeah, he's a cop for SFPD now.
Really?
I think he's got his work cut out for him. That's Gotham City with sunshine.
I think my old high school quarterback is a cop in Charlotte now.
Oh, Briar Van Brunt?
Yep.
Shout out Briar Van Brunt, man. Not a bad gig. Cop in Charlotte?
Yeah.
Good life.
Better than a lot of other big cities.
Not for real. Especially San Francisco. You got your money cut out for you. You got your money cut out for you in San Francisco.
I think San Francisco mayors actually make the most money out of any mayor in the U.S. salary-wise.
Well, technically, the cost of living is so expensive there. They got to take care of it.
Yeah, I think the San Francisco mayor is like confirmed like $340,000 a year.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I learned that when it comes to those people, it depends on, I guess, where you're at, but one of them said, Jesse Ventura. He was the mayor of Minnesota, right? Or governor of Minnesota?
Governor.
Yeah, he said that, he was going to run. I don't know. How many terms did he run?
I don't remember. I don't remember how many terms he ran. I was just surprising that he made it.
Well, I think that he stopped doing it because he said that when he was there, he said that he was making like $120,000 a year on paper, right? But he said they every time they charged him for every meal that he sat and ate with his family, they took it out of his check. Yeah, everything, certain things that he was doing, they would just be like, you're doing it on, the taxpayer's dime. So basically what he's saying was he was only bringing home like $60,000 a year in mayor money. So he was like, that's not enough money for me. And somebody in the comments was like, oh, imagine that. Public servant not making as much money as he wanted to make, right? And so it was just like kind of funny because somebody was like, yeah, if I could make $60,000 and not have touched it, because obviously like they're taking care of him. So he wouldn't have had to touch that money. So he would have made it. That's $60,000. If me and you make $60,000, thank God we make more than that now. But if we were just making $6,000 a year, that's all we're making. And then like we're not even seeing all that. We're maybe seeing half of that, right? So it's like he got to see all of it, and he didn't have to spend none of it. So he just got to put that up as a public servant because you ain't paying for nothing. You're just taking out of your check. You live for free.
Never mind, I was mistaken. That was the last mayor who was making that. The current mayor of San Francisco has elected to receive an annual salary of just $1, donating his full salary back to the city. Previously, the position paid approximately $364,582, which after federal and California state taxes would result in a significantly lower net income.
Oh, after they got done with everything?
Yep.
Yeah, because it's so expensive. Dude, was I talking to you about the... No, I wasn't. Yeah, my dad and my uncle didn't know that, like, the players that played in the Super Bowl, when they get taxed at the state that they're playing in. And they was like, well, what?
It's not just for playing, the state that they even practice in.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, they're that bonus money that they make, like they don't see a lot of it, I don't think.
Yep, because Sam Darnold, he made that money and then had to pay that all and more back to the state of California.
Yeah. So I was telling him, I was like, dude, the Super Bowl being in California is like screwed up paychecks up, man.
Yeah. They might still hold Super Bowls in California, but after that, I wouldn't be surprised if the practices were held outside of California until the day of the game.
Yeah, the next Super Bowl is going to be in L.A.
Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, you talking about 10, 12, 13% on tax.
Well, they might practice in. I wouldn't be surprised if they spent that week practicing in Vegas or Arizona instead, and then played that one day.
Yeah, I mean, if I lived in the West Coast, I would visit frequently. I would visit the Bay Area because I love it. But I wouldn't live in California. I think that I would live maybe in Nevada. Probably close to the Sierra Nevada, like between that area, between like Sacramento and Nevada.
That'd be Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, Reno. I'd probably live in Reno. Flossing in Reno, the casino, bidding big. No, I don't gamble. Or Utah. I like Utah.
I've only mainland West. I've only been to the middle of nowhere, New Mexico, and Vegas.
Oh, you missing out, but yeah, you hadn't been to so you hadn't been to Sac.
I haven't been to California.
You ain't been to California at all?
Just a layover in LAX, but I don't count that.
First place in the West Coast I ever went to was San Diego, California.
Ooh, lucky you.
Carlsbad. Actually, pause. First place I ever went, Arizona. Tempe, Arizona was my first place I touched down on the West Coast.
For me, it's the Southwest, but flew into El Paso and drove through Las Cruces, New Mexico.
New Mexico. Did you like New Mexico?
Not the part I was at.
Could you live there?
I couldn't see myself living in that part of New Mexico. I didn't like the part I was at.
Was it close to any other state or anything that was
middle of nowhere? It was like
Better Call Saul.
What now?
Better Call Saul's in New Mexico.
Yeah, but that's in Albuquerque, which was 3 hours north of where we were. Where we are was it was close to White Sands National Monument, so you were in the desert, and then there was also mountains nearby, but you better be in the outdoors in order to enjoy your time there.
Everything looks like clay over there, right? Like everything's brown.
Sand. More sand, not clay, it's sand.
Yeah. I wonder if it has any resemblance to Mexico.
It really does. It's why it's called New Mexico, and it's not brown clay, but it's more like some of the sand is white where I was at.
When I was flying over to get to the West Coast, I saw New Mexico, and it was just straight up brown. It looked like houses of clay. It was crazy. It looked like the desert or something, like the wilderness.
Yeah, like the biggest population centers in New Mexico or in the northern part of the state. I was in the very southeast part.
Yeah, so, I've been to Arizona, right? But I've been to eastern Arizona as well. Eastern Arizona, which is Sholo. I don't know if a lot of people know this. That's a national forest. So the amazing thing about this earth and the way that God has created it, it's just so... I thought it was one way. I thought if you had trees and forests and stuff, then a desert, it was completely, like, cut off from... Like, there's no way it could be coincide. Being in Arizona, like, it blew my mind. Like, Eastern Arizona is a national forest. It's green.
Funny enough, same way where I was at. 30 minutes away from where we went out to a town called Cloudcroft, which was in the mountains, and like it was a national forest too, Lincoln National Forest, and it looked like you were in Appalachian, North Carolina.
And this was what state?
New Mexico.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck? I was in sand. I was in desert. And now I'm like, and so because I went to Tempe, and Tempe's like a sand. It's like dune buggies ride at night and stuff like that.
Vegas was all desert.
I saw my first Tesla pumps in 2015 over there. We didn't have them here, Tesla pumps are here now, but Tesla pumps back in 2015 were like, they were out there. I saw my first Waymo over there in Arizona. I was in Arizona. I was in Phoenix during Super Bowl week.
Nice.
Yeah, because what Super Bowl was that? Was it San Francisco versus?
It wasn't the Ravens because that was in New Orleans.
No, it wasn't that. It was
Kansas City.
It had to be. It was after the Bengals and the Rams played.
It was San Fran and Kansas City.
Yeah, San Fran and Kansas City. It was really good. But I was there a week before, not the week of, the week before.
It was either San Fran or Philly versus Kansas City.
Yeah, Philly versus Kansas City, because that was the year that I saw on this big old building. They were promoting a challenge that Gronkowski was setting up for FanDuel. It was a kicking challenge. Field goal.
There's too many sports gambling ads now.
So many, dude. There's so many. I don't know. How do you feel about that, dude?
I hate them.
I hate them too, man. And it's just so... It's like... That is to me, that is a sin.
Oh, by the way, this was the worst year I can remember for Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah, it was so bad that I was just talking. Like, usually I would shut up to watch them, but the Super Bowl was such a mess this year. I would just chopping it up with my uncle and my dad while commercials were going on.
Yep. The ones I remember there's three that I remember, only three that I really remember, all for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
A Manscaped commercial on TV where it had the shaved hair singing.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then there was a Ritz commercial featuring a bunch of celebrities going to a tropical island.
Bad move.
And then the third was like the worst political campaign ad I have ever seen.
Okay, who was it for?
It was a local ad. It was for the Georgia governor's race, particularly the GOP primary. There's a new guy who just entered the race, a billionaire named Rick Jackson, and his whole ad was lambasting the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger.
How so? Because
Brad Raffensperger basically in 2020 elections refused to recount the votes in Georgia after Trump asked him. And so the ad was like this little elementary school age kid with glasses asking his mom, why'd you name me Brad? And she's like, I named you after Brad Raffensperger, and then just unleashed a string of insults about Brad Raffensperger, calling him a traitor to the Republican Party. And then she ends this whole tirade with, the second option was Judas.
Oh my goodness.
And then Rick Jackson didn't even have the decency to appear afterwards and say, I'm Rick Jackson and I approve this message. Nope. At the bottom of the screen, it just said rickjacksonforgovernor.org. You unintentionally promoted Brad Raffensperger more than yourself in that one.
Yo, so are we going back to basically this is the 1890s, going into the 1900s, which saw a second industrial revolution. So I think we're headed into our third industrial revolution, which is AI.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on it. Hey, I'm on it tonight, boy. Thank you, Brandon. We are moving into the third industrial revolution, which is, also marred by political muckraking, if you would say, right? I mean, that sounds awful. Usually you would say, I approve this mission, right? Hi, I'm approve this mission. Yeah, they ain't even doing it anymore. It's just bang, bang, bang. Yeah, slander is tolerated now. As a matter of fact, I'm so, like, dude, hating is approved now.
And in 22 years ago, Howard Dean had his political career ruined just by doing a weird yell at a rally.
Yeah, now you do that, you get a lot of like viral attention now, right?
Like he was running for the Democratic nomination for president against Bush's reelection, and it was like at a rally, he goes like, "Yeah!" and that was the gaffe that cost him the party nomination.
Dang, that's messed up.
Like that's child's play.
Yeah, it's child's play now for sure. That's nothing, unless you're Kelsey Plum. You know, Kelsey Plum, she came. You know who that is? Kelsey Plum's like a famous basketball player that plays for I think she used to play for the Aces. Now she plays for the Sparks. I'm not sure in the WNBA, but she had this thing where she was watching a game and like the camera was panned to her and she was eating popcorn a certain way. And dude, apparently the internet just like tore her apart. And I guess she messed it up for white women. I guess they called her the annoying white woman or whatever. But I just thought that kind of like little things can make you. But yeah, that thing is child's play. Him yelling, child's play now. That's a meme now.
Yeah, that's just a meme. That's just a meme. They might even if that happened now, they might even endear him.
Yeah, might endear him. That type of yell might endear him. Yeah.
Yeah, he at least gets a meme notoriety out of it.
Off the top of your head, can you tell me the first book that Paul might have written for the New Testament?
Probably to the Corinthians, maybe.
I'm willing to bet it's the book of Philemon.
Philemon?
I'm willing to bet. I don't know. I just thought I'd ask on some random stuff. I think we'll do 30 more minutes and we'll be good.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was like Paul or Romans probably would have been somewhere in the middle.
Romans was probably... I feel like Romans was more towards the end of his life. Because he finally was in Rome, but he was a prisoner, right? Or he lived on his own first.
I think he went to Rome twice.
Oh, he went to Rome twice?
I think he did. I think that was his first stint in Rome.
So the whole time, Acts is like him about to go to Rome, though, isn't it?
Yep. Yep, it is.
So that would be the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. I got this.
I heard it's best to view Acts as a sequel to Luke.
Yeah. It's a continuation of the gospel, yeah, for sure. I mean, I pretty much look at Acts as like that was the last book before the Bible ended, besides Revelation, because it's the church, like, you know, modern day church, basically. Like, and also, I think we've been doing this wrong in terms of church, how we view church, how the setup. I think it's too institutionalized now,
and we need institutions.
I agree. I'm not gonna fight you on that one. I agree with that. But I'm saying, Paul wrote about people having church in their homes. It's obviously not feasible anymore, unless you break it off into groups. But people have it confused, not like truly, like genuinely confused. Like people be like, church is a building. People feel like, I'm going to church, it's a building, when really the church is the body of believers. I know I'm beating a dead horse with this, but I think it creates a legalism in people's minds. It's not a physical thing. I think it's I'm calling myself out because, you know, I feel, even though I know I can go to God directly, I feel like there are certain physical spots I have to go to pray. I feel like that's a mental thing, you know? And I just wanted to know, have you ever felt like that? Do you know anybody that feels like that?
I used to, when I was still with my parents, I used to go into the back room of the house to read and pray, but I've grown out of that.
Yeah, I like reading the physical copy of the Bible.
Yeah, although this recliner right now, just because of my disc, the way that's supposedly better for my neck to read is to like stack those pillows on my lap and then open the Bible on those pillows upright and then read like that to have my body in a more neutral position. That's just for a physical thing.
Yeah. Can you do yoga?
I stretch.
I would say, okay, you're a person that's into health and fitness.
Yes.
Do you feel, I was getting my hair done the other day, and I didn't want to get into it with the young girl again, right? I'm talking to her. I'm like, it's just as expensive to eat out as it is to buy your own food. And she was like, nah, it's more cheaper to eat out. And I disagree because I've done both. How do you feel about it?
I'd say it's about the same now.
I'd say it's about the same. I say it's about the same now. Like, and even then, like, okay, so when people say that, you know what I think? I think that you're trying to argue with me about it, right? But really what you're hurting yourself, because you're saying that even if it was more expensive, which it is not, we both agree whether it's the same or less, we both agree it's not more expensive than the other. But if you're saying that though, you're saying that you're not willing to put a premium on your health.
It depends. Like I try to eat at home more, although I do eat out more than I probably should. But that's honestly just because I get bored, and I try to get people to like come who I haven't seen in a while to come hang to go eat. Because around here, that's seemingly the only social activity you could get people to do with you that doesn't involve other stuff.
My gosh, bro, you just hit such a chord. Like, dude, you just did it. Like, you're amazing, because that's a great segue into this point. Like, I had a date with a 52-year-old woman 2 weeks ago. She asked me out on a date, by the way. And I'm not going to sit here and, like, front or whatever. Like, it's mutual, whatever. But I was telling one of my coworkers at work, and I was just like, I feel like there's nothing. She was like, well, why did you invite her? Why did you like decide to go out to eat? And I was just like, there's nothing else to do here but go out to eat. She's like, you could take a walk. I was like, is somebody really going to be interested in just taking a walk? I mean, I don't mind it, but I know like the woman that asked me on a date, it's like, I don't think that's what she wanted to do.
You even have to go all the way to Perry to have an okay walk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, where we're going to walk at? There's not places in this town that make it friendly for you to do something outside. Does that make sense? Why is the infrastructure made like that, Brandon, where it's like, there's no walk in the park here?
There's a couple parks, but they're not really that great.
Why is that? Why do they make it to where it's just like super corporate?
I don't think the town expected to grow as much as it did,
and so now it's trying to figure out how to deal with that.
Yes,
there's a project that's going down, I guess years from now, but they're supposed to social circle, that commercial circle. Yeah, they're supposed to make like, it's supposed to be a big shopping area, kind of like how Riverside is.
Yes, but I've only seen like only a little bit of there's only like one section of it that they tore stuff down to actually build stuff on.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
And when Fabian Velasquez was running for mayor, he brought up kind of a point that made me think.
All right.
I personally haven't seen it go down in that area, but I know that area of town is kind of the rougher side.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you could build all this nice stuff there, but are people going to go there if they think they're going to get robbed?
It's the cutoff between the south side and the north side.
Yes.
That's where they merge. I just don't feel. Maybe it's different because of how I am, but I just don't feel that energy. I don't feel when I go out there I'm gonna get robbed.
Yeah, that's the point that he was. That's the point that he was making. But I really haven't felt that energy either, because like you are literally right next to City Hall.
Yeah. Hold up.
And the police are like, sorry.
No, good. Continue.
Yeah, the police are like right there.
Yeah, dude. There's so many cops over there. It's ridiculous. There's so many cops over there, dude. I got pulled over there for lapsed insurance, for having no insurance.
I got
a while ago, not now though.
The first time I ever got pulled over was in Centerville.
Ever?
2022.
That's the first time you ever got pulled over?
Yeah, because I did a rolling when you stop.
You didn't stop all the way?
I didn't stop all the way.
Did you get a ticket for that?
Yes.
How much was it?
I think it was like 175 or something.
Oof. Yeah, I got my first time I ever got pulled over was like less than 3 miles away from my home in Kathleen. I got pulled over, and I was just on my learners, and I didn't have my mom in the car with me. They gave me a $125 citation for that. I got lucky. Went to jail.
And then I got pulled over for last year during Rolling Thunder because I just looked at my phone for a second at a stoplight with a few cars ahead of me, and this GSP officer just happened to pull up right beside me, and he saw where I was looking.
Oh, he got you.
And he got me, and I was issued a warning.
Yeah, he's really good for that one.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Rolling Thunder. They give you a warning, and they enter your license plate into their system while they're giving you that warning. So that way, if they pull you over again during the operation, they have more justification to write you something bigger.
You know how we work inside the gate, right? When you get pulled over by a cop inside the gate, have you ever been pulled over by a cop inside the gate?
Not inside the gate.
Okay, inside the gate, I've been pulled over by a cop. I'm not sure. I've been pulled over by a cop inside the gate in another state as well. That was the first place I got pulled over. It was at Wright Pat in Ohio. So I'm like, they give me the citation. There's no court date or nothing attached to it. So they were just like, you have to notify your supervisor that you got pulled over. Do you think I notified my supervisor that I got pulled over?
No.
And then there was this other time where I parked in an unauthorized spot by the gym, by the annex, and I got a citation. But like, it was like, report to your super. Like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? It's not like, it seems like it's of no consequence if you get one. I think it's more for people who are in uniform. It's more for people who are like in uniform, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a few more things on topic before we get off. Sunday is tomorrow. No football. But we do have All-Star Weekend. Basketball. Any pick for NBA Finals? I know you don't watch basketball very much.
I need to check up on that. I start getting into basketball more closer around playoff time, and that includes college too.
Really?
Yep.
You're into basketball in college?
Well, only around the March Madness to playoff time. Just when it gets to playoff time, I get into basketball for both parts.
Because of the upsets that could occur?
Well, yeah, for March Madness, and then also in NBA, I get more around to it closer to playoff time too. And same thing with baseball. Although I can't watch baseball on TV. It bores me on TV. I'd much rather be there live.
I've been to one baseball game before they switched to Truist Park. You know, at the what was the old place called?
Turner Field.
Yeah, I was been Turner Field before they converted into Georgia State's football stadium. I was there in 2008. Braves played the Arizona Diamondbacks. It was the 8th grade field trip. I don't know if you had one of those.
Nope, I actually did not have any field trips after elementary school.
Dang, bro. Yeah, we went to Andersonville.
Yeah, except at high school during the summer, like if for football players, if you finish with at least a C average, the coaches would take you to Six Flags.
Really?
Yep.
Yo, 8th grade, we went to Turner Field, and then we were supposed to. I think either you had an option. I think it was option. You either whatever group you with, you either went to see the baseball game or you went to the varsity. I'm not sure if it was both, but I didn't go to the varsity. I went to baseball.
You made the right choice.
So is the varsity like our in and out?
Just for Georgia, although I heard you only go. I haven't been there yet, but I've only heard you go to the varsity just as a checklist, and then you're on the toilet later.
Dude, I went. Yeah, I mean, my stomach was more cast iron back then, so it was straight. But I went early in my marriage. But yeah, the varsity, it was a lot of lines for food. But when I went to In-N-Out in Texas and California, I was like, this kind of seems like the varsity, but with smaller portions, and it seems like it's more known.
I didn't care for In-N-Out.
Really?
I did not.
Dude, I love In-N-Out.
To me, it felt like a little bit like Wendy's.
No, I like it because I can't get it here. That's the only reason I like it.
They're opening up one in Tennessee soon, though.
We should make a trip for it.
I'm not going all the way to Tennessee.
Dude, just ride with me.
Okay.
And nobody said that, you know what I mean? Because I'm going with you, New Orleans.
Fair enough.
How you feel about In-N-Out? That's how I feel about Whataburger. I feel like Whataburger is just an upsized McDonald's.
Yeah. Whataburger
that sells breakfast 24/7.
The key to Whataburger is to eat it in Texas, not anywhere else.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly because I ate it in. Well, let me take that back. I ate Whataburger in Tallahassee, and it tastes just as good as the Whataburger I ate in Austin.
I think I got sick from the Whataburger in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, it's in Birmingham, Alabama.
Now, Birmingham also had the worst Chick-fil-A I've ever been in.
I can imagine, dude. Dude, I went to Birmingham. I was dating a missionary at the time, and she was living in Birmingham, and she invited me to the Birmingham. She invited me to the Super Bowl party. You want to know what Super Bowl that I was watching? It was the one where Atlanta played the Patriots. Yeah, it was crazy because I went and we were there, and I wanted to see what UAB looked like, the campus. So we went there, and I got to see the soccer field and all that stuff. Before we went to her house or whatever, and then we watched the Super Bowl, and like we were watching it, and you got to go through Atlanta to get to Birmingham.
It's somewhat depending on where you're going.
Depending on where you're going, but I went through Atlanta.
I always go through Columbus.
Jeez. Yeah, I went through Atlanta, and basically, it was looking really good until it wasn't. And then I saw the 28-3. I saw the whole thing. I even saw Julio Jones' like amazing toe tap catch, which I think he would have won Super Bowl MVP. I think he should have won it Super Bowl. I think that he should have won Super Bowl MVP.
Also, speaking of Atlanta,
he was the best player on the field. No,
he was. Him and Grady Jarrett were that night.
Yeah,
that was Grady Jarrett's breakout game.
He's a rookie, right?
Nope, he was in his second year, and he had like 3 sacks in that game.
Yeah. It's like him and Calais Campbell. He's a Calais Campbell archetype.
I think so.
Yeah,
but he's always been more of a defensive tackle. Like he's hardly ever played in a 3-4 defense.
I met Calais Campbell once.
Really?
I met Calais Campbell in Tempe, Arizona, in 2015.
Oh.
That timeline ran up, don't it? Because he was playing in Arizona at the time. Yeah, I met him. He was working. He was doing network marketing. He was doing MLM on the side for this company called Vima. You remember that time?
MLMs?
Yeah.
I remember that time, yeah.
You remember Verve? That was when we were in college.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it was just like, it wasn't a scam, but like it was overpriced.
A buddy of mine wanted to get me involved in an MLM where we're selling energy drinks.
Yeah, that's what it was. There was a tangent. So I'm going to say this. MLMs, people look at them as pyramid schemes, and there are pyramid scheme MLMs. But it's only a pyramid scheme if there's not a tangible product or a service involved with it. Like if I were doing something, I'm like, hey, come with me. Let's do this. I'll sign you up. And then, you're part of my organization. That would only be a pyramid scheme if we were trading, like if we weren't trading a tangible product or a service. If there was nothing involved, I'm like, you sign up. And then like, well, what's the service? Is it cleaning? Is it, auto repair? Is it taxes? Is it energy drinks? If that wasn't involved, that's a pyramid scheme. So they were legit. It was just they were overpriced, and it was just energy drinks, and they were making it about more than energy drinks. That makes sense?
Yeah. Also, I learned a really nefarious way that the mafia makes money in the Northeast in Chicago.
All right.
In construction projects, apparently they have these things called no-show jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And no work jobs, meaning that for one of their buddies gets out of prison and part of their parole conditions involved that they have to have employment, that's a perfect situation for them. Like for companies that win contracts who are associated with them, like they have to make have to set aside 15% of the budget for no-show jobs, meaning that guy is on the payroll but he doesn't show up for work unless there's an inspector who is like really like hands-on from somewhere outside. So the guy has to show up, but he doesn't do any work. And apparently that's so common and has been there for so long that 15% is just considered a cost of doing business.
Even to today.
And that only really happens in the tri-state area and Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah, I mean
And then sometimes they'll even steal stuff from the construction site for
materials and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, dang. And so the inspector is probably in pocket too.
No, this not the inspector. Like the inspector is somebody who's like auditing from the outside, and then they have the person show but don't do any work so that the inspector is satisfied.
Oh, okay, they're fooling the inspector. I think the same thing kind of goes on in the restaurant industry. Let me explain. I'm going around. You know, I don't eat at restaurants anymore, but today I went to Dunkin' Donuts just to get some coffee. And I saw that Dunkin' Donuts had 100% on their thing, right? That was good. But see, on Friday, I went to Tropical Smoothie to get a little smoothie bowl. That's healthy, as long as you get the right stuff. And I got some Greek yogurt, granola, mango, blueberry. I hadn't done it in a while, so I just wanted to splurge on that, right? And besides, if I eat greasy food, it's just going to make me throw up. So I just ate that. But I went there, and theirs was an 89. Now I'm thinking 89, and I went over to Dunkin' Donuts 100, Tropical Smoothie 89, Dunkin' Donuts 100. Okay, there's either one or two things happening. One, they're paying health inspectors off, bribing them to give them 100%. Or, number two, they deem these for the bad health scores. 'Cause I'm like, if you got a score below 89, it's pretty bad. I mean, below 95, it's pretty bad in my eyes. Really below 90, you're tripping. So I'm like, okay, how are you allowed to do business? So it's like, are you deemed too big to fail?
They treat it like school, like C is good enough.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I've seen like one that's been like below 80 something, you know. I'm trying to think, but
I've seen 50s before.
And they're still operating?
Well, it's like you have a certain you either shut, I think you have the first time you get that low, you have like a get well period plan time. And then if you do something like that low again, they shut you down.
So basically what it does is if you're below a certain level, it just gives the health inspector a reason to keep coming back. Mm-hmm. I just find it odd how like they'll be like these health, you know, like a health thing, right? Some type of health supplement. These products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA, but the FDA approves Wendy's. The FDA approves, you know, sugar that's been tampered with. The FDA approves Diet Coke. You know, the Food and Drug Administration, you know, approving.
They're pretty much just the drug administration. They let all the food slide by.
Well, they approved Black and Milds. They approved Camels. They Camel Crush. They approved Marlboro, non-menthol and menthol. So I just was like, man, is the FDA to be taken serious? You know? But I'm just rambling at this point. But anything else before we go off?
Yeah. I think I'm going to, one more thing I was going to say about Birmingham. I used to work with a lady who grew up in Birmingham, and she and her girlfriends would go to Atlanta every other weekend to have a good time.
How far is Birmingham from Atlanta?
2 hours.
Yeah, they probably did, because it's really hard to find something fun to do in Alabama, probably.
And though Birmingham is like apparently one of the better places to have fun in Alabama.
Yes, kind of industrious. I mean, I would assume that what do you call it? Huntsville.
It was boring. I've been there. It was boring for a city its size. It was very boring. The only thing I really liked there was the NASA Space and Rocket Center. That was it.
It was pretty cool, huh?
That was awesome. That's worth a day trip. Everything else was boring.
They're close to Tennessee.
Yep.
University of Alabama Huntsville is like one of the only schools in this area, in this South, I think, that has like an official D2 hockey program. Yes. And also, have you been to Montgomery?
Nope.
You've never been to Montgomery?
I have not.
You've never been to the capital of Alabama?
I have not.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been there, but I have been there. It's okay.
Ain't been to Mobile neither.
Really? I have. So you've never been to Perdido Key? Like that Alabama, Florida, Orange Beach?
I have not.
Dude, yeah. That's a retirement spot.
Yeah, the furthest thing I've gone in the Panhandle is Pensacola.
Oh, okay, Pensacola. Yeah, Pensacola's cool. You never been to Ocala?
I've been through Ocala before. I went to Silver Springs.
Oh, okay. I had a soccer. We had to go play soccer in Ocala.
Yeah, I went to Silver Springs Park back then before the monkeys got there, and I will not go there now.
Why?
Like these monkeys are like golden macaques that got loose, and then they became an invasive species in that park, and they carry super herpes.
What?
Yeah, apparently, if the monkeys there throw their feces at you and it hits you, you automatically get the super herpes the moment it touches your skin.
Has anybody ever had super herpes from them?
The fact that I'm assuming so, because the fact that this is documented is I'm assuming somebody was unlucky.
Yeah, that's awful. That's freaking awful. Where's this at?
Ocala, Florida, Silver Spring State Park.
No way. That's diabolical.
Like somebody should go in there and just kill all the monkeys.
If they're evasive, that means they're hiding, right?
They're in hiding?
Yeah, evasive means they're hiding, right?
Invasive means they've overtaken the native population of it.
Okay. Invasive, not evasive.
Not evasive, invasive.
Oh, invasive. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say to that.
I would go in there and kill all the monkeys.
How would you do it? How'd you do it?
Why not?
What plan would you take to kill all the monkeys?
Well, I would try it in a way that wouldn't harm the local ecosystem, and sometimes I think it's just you get enough people with enough bullets.
So you're just gonna go and mow them down.
Yep.
Let's just find them and shoot them.
Yep.
Hope you got some Green Berets with you. You got some sharpshooters with you, bro.
Shoot them out of the trees.
Have you ever been camping?
No, I've been hunting a lot though.
I'm supposed to go camping in March.
Nice.
At the end of March. But I might give it up because I'm going to New Orleans with you.
Well, that's at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, it's March 25th. That's when they want to go.
March 25th. Where's that?
Somewhere out in the outskirts of Dublin. I think maybe. But there's this camp that I went to when I did a mission trip in Georgia. It's called Rock Ridge Camp. Dude, we cleaned up there. It was so nice. And we had breakfast there and stuff. I want to go back there again just to chill. Rock Ridge, Georgia.
Where's
Ridge, Georgia? I'm surprised you don't know about it.
I thought there was like a rock something near Barnesville.
Rock Ridge Camp. Rock Ridge Camp is a children's camp, actually, in Heard County, Georgia. It's a children's camp. Yeah. Camp Rock Ridge. Franklin, Georgia. Heard County.
Close enough.
Wait, Heard County is close to Lamar County?
Maybe a distance, but I was heading in the right direction.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's a Lamar County alumni projected to be a first-round pick of the NFL draft this year.
You talking about the linebacker?
Yep, C.J. Allen.
Yeah, the do-it-all, right? Mr. Do-it-all.
Mr. Do-it-all.
Mr. Do-it-all. We thought he was small. He is not small. He is not short either. We thought he was short. He's not short.
It's just his body build is different.
It does. It looks like everything sits low to the ground on him from a TV, but he's actually huge. Roquan Smith.
Just look lean.
Yeah, archetype. He was a do-it-all. First round?
Yep, late first-round pick.
He's done all 4 years, hasn't he?
3.
Yeah, he did a lot. See, he's doing what a lot of players don't get, which is full development. Tom Brady talked about it. He said a lot of quarterbacks specifically. I mean, really, he said they don't do player development anymore. He said when he was at Michigan, he got this at all levels. He was like the third quarterback, so he had to fight up the depth chart. And then when he was fighting up the depth chart, he got to sit back and look and see how other people did it. He had to, know the plays, the playbook, what kind of offense running from this running offense to a pro style offense, all that type of stuff. And he even said, like, even when he got into the NFL, like, it was still he got developed because the year 2000 he got out, he saw it. A lot of people realize Tom Brady did not play until his second year.
Yep, and who is a 6th-round pick in his rookie year, so they weren't expecting him.
Yes. As a matter of fact, with the exception of the draft pick number, Drake May and Tom Brady almost had the same story. Second year win Super Bowl, almost. So I would say now Drake May is a poor man's Tom Brady.
Is a what?
Would he be a poor man's Tom Brady right now?
I wouldn't say poor man's Tom Brady. I think Drake May is closer to Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah. Drake May is closer to Drew Bledsoe than he is Tom Brady, which isn't far behind. That's pretty good because Drew Bledsoe was like the guy.
I still can't believe that so far Drake May has had the most successful career of the QBs from the 2024 draft.
Caleb Williams was there.
Jaden Daniels.
And
Penix. And J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Nix almost had literally a kneel if he doesn't kneel.
Or it may not have even been a kneel. There's a rumor he got hurt doing a locker room celebration after the game.
Dude, I want to talk about that before we got off. Athletes get hurt in the craziest ways, and I think that's some spiritual stuff. No doubt. Why is it that, like, bro, they'll, like, one little thing they do and they get hurt?
Yeah, and then you get injured practicing instead of sometimes in that game.
Yeah, dude, I totally believe that he got hurt, probably kneeling or celebration or something like, dude, there was this player that played for the Spanish national team in the early 2000s named Santiago Canizares. He was the goalkeeper. I mean, just the guy. He played for Valencia. Valencia had this really good team that made it to the Champions League final. It was really good. But Santiago Canizares was slated to start for the 2002 edition of the Spanish national team for the World Cup that took place in Korea and Japan in 2002. Now, before the tournament, this man dropped a bottle of aftershave on his foot and lacerated his foot, deeming him out. This happened probably months before, giving the opportunity to a guy named Iker Casillas, who, once he took it in 2002, he did not let it go until 2014. He played from 2002 to 2014. That's how long he played for the Spanish national team. He won a World Cup in 2010. Had that not happened, with that dude dropping an aftershave on his foot? But it's like, okay, I'll give you another example. Anthony Richardson. The dude is stretching his foot with a band, and it pops off and hits him in his eye and messes up his eye socket. That's crazy. That's never happened to me.
Freaky stuff. Just freaky stuff.
It's like there are things that happen in my life that make it seem to my parents that I'm untrustworthy, and they don't believe me. For example, the door handle on my car. The door handle on my car was super fine, dude. And then one day I got out of my apartment, and the door handle was like wiggly. It was like it was out of its socket. And so I'm just leaving it because it still opens. And then one day somebody just sideswipes it and it's off. I didn't see who did it. And my dad was like, "How does that happen?" I've never done that. I'm like, I don't know. My dad gives me his truck. There's the passenger, not the passenger seat, but there's 4 doors. The door that's on the back side. So the panel. What do you call the door? The fourth door. What do you call it?
I don't know.
The back door or whatever.
It's just a back door to me.
Okay, the back door, dude. It just the latch is just super goofy. So you have to get it to pop a certain way. So I pulled it up after doing this 50 times, and it just pops off. I was like, it just popped off, and it had a child's lock on it too. So I can't unlock the door. So I just have a door that I can't unlock. My dad's like, "How do you do that?" I was like, "I don't know. It just did it, right?" So these things that happen, it's just okay. Anthony Davis, you know Anthony Davis, right?
Yep.
It just seems like if that dude slips, he's gonna hurt himself. Mm-hmm. What is that?
And just injury prone.
That's crazy.
That's horrifying. Apparently, in Bo Nix, in his case, he may have a degenerative issue with his ankle, which leaves it he's more prone to injure his ankle. Apparently, this was his third ankle surgery since high school.
Yeah, I had problems with my ankles were like paper thin in college.
Yeah, it's not a thinness. Like, this is like a degenerative bone issue in his ankle.
Yeah, it's the ankles are interesting because you put so much. Also, too, I wonder if God made us to be able to play sports like that, so at a high level for so much. I don't know if he did. I mean, obviously we're able to do it, but like, there's an immense pressure on your body when you're constantly working and stuff like that. Like, if you're playing a sport and you go through the season, like, injuries will pop up. You know, especially if you're getting regular playing time, injuries pop up all the time, dude. I'm telling you. So it's just like,
yeah, especially like in football when it's like really short, fast, impactful.
yeah, it's like a car crash every time. And so, like with goalkeeping, like, bro, you hit the ground all the time and stuff like that. So your body just kind of gives way over time or whatever. And for instance, Mike Webster, you know who that is? Yeah. So they were saying that on the movie that Dr.
Concussion.
Will Smith was a doctor, and he was saying that Mike Webster, like, before he died, this is very, very frightening. But CTE had gotten to him so much that, like, he was living in a pickup truck with his son by himself. And listen to this, Brandon. This man, this is horrifying to me. This man was pulling his teeth out. I don't know how he was doing it. He was pulling it out of the socket and reattaching it back in. Like, pulling it out. First of all, I fear about losing my teeth. Like, in my dreams, my teeth always, like, breaking or something like that. Well, it used to be. They don't anymore. I heard that when you have those dreams about your teeth breaking, you're worried about money. But anyway, I had fear about that. So imagine some dude in real life is taking his teeth out and reinserting, taking it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's terrifying.
Also, back to soccer real quick. In Lisbon, I saw nothing but Ronaldo merch.
Oh, yeah, man. You know, Ronaldo's the GOAT in Portugal. Ronaldo is to Portugal what Messi is to Argentina. He's essentially God. I mean, he isn't, but he's essentially God in Portugal. Yeah. He brought so much to...
And the fact, it's just weird to me to see him on a Saudi team.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Also, it's still kind of weird, slightly less, but to see Messi on an American team.
I know, in real life, yeah, like it's in Miami. Like, he's been, dude, I had a kid I was training. I still train him. For his birthday, he went to go play. They bought him tickets to see Messi at Atlanta United. The tickets were like $340. They took him. This was when they had the Miami Vice jerseys, because Inter Miami FC, which is the team he plays for, they wear pink, like flamingo pink. But they had Miami Dolphins colors with their jerseys on it, and in a Miami Vice type of way. So anyway, they won the game. I think Atlanta won the game 4-3. But Messi being close to Georgia as he is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Ronaldo will be in Atlanta for warm-up games of the World Cup because he plays for Portugal. We're the epicenter.
We're just 2 hours away from one of the centers of the world.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I think it's crazy that we live in Georgia and like there's that going on. But you know, we're
one of the few states that actually has a city with all that going on. You got California, New York, Illinois, Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, yeah. Washington.
Yep. We're one of the very few.
Then maybe North Carolina now.
Charlotte is a growing epicenter. Very much so. Commerce center.
Detroit, just because of, Michigan, just because of Detroit's legacy.
Detroit is kind of coming back up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then Minneapolis is falling.
Minneapolis is... I'm not going to say too much about that, but Minneapolis is definitely lacking. That's Minneapolis' fault, though.
Yeah, Boston's an epicenter, too, in Massachusetts.
Very much so.
Although I heard, tourism has been messed up in Boston after COVID because, people went there after COVID and the residents supposedly were so mean that people just stopped going to Boston.
Yeah, I heard the residents were pretty mean, too. As a matter of fact, we got a New England Patriots fan from Boston. You know, he talks like, get the cow and all. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
No way.
I think the guy used to work with me.
No way. I can say his name. Glenn Anderson.
Never mind.
Okay, my bad.
This guy was Gene.
Okay, yeah, no, Glenn is he's a New England Patriots fan. He's from Boston, and I think he got away just for the cold winters. Yeah, I think he's a contractor, but
Yeah, DC's an epicenter.
Yep, DC. Can we take a plane ride to DC, or is it to Baltimore or Macon?
Well, it's to DC.
The plane ride to DC?
Yeah, it's to Reagan.
Really?
It's to Reagan.
Now, why do we specifically have something to DC?
I'm guessing maybe because we have the base here and you fly up there for government work.
Yeah, Pentagon. If you have a Pentagon job, you can commute from the Pentagon to back.
Yep.
My dude, I'm so slow. I didn't realize that. So people that they don't have to live in DC.
They don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's somebody who in our area that just got his job at the Pentagon. So he's leaving one of these days.
I'm actually, it's never one of my career goals to go to the Pentagon.
It is?
Not.
Yeah. Oh, your career goal is to not go to the Pentagon.
Not my career. It's not something that I have marked down as like a checklist thing, but it's like my career goal doesn't really foresee me going. Career goals being at the Pentagon's not in there.
I'll tell you what my career goals base is. This is how I would like it to go. First place from here, I would like to go to Right Pat. Because that's the place for program managers, you know? Get my feet settled, really, really learn. I'd love to work on Air Force One. Because that's where you can work on Air Force One there. After Right Pat, I would like to make my way to Hill Air Force Base. Hill Air Force Base, just because Utah, I like Utah. Then from Hill, I would like to go straight on farther to the West Coast. I would like to go to Beale Air Force Base, where the U-2 is. Then make my way to LA Air Force Base. And then end at Peterson Air Force Base, which is LA Space Force.
Be careful out in Utah, though.
Why?
All right, so you heard of the Coke Boys in Utah?
No.
All right, so the Coke Boys are kind of a joke, but for
because there's no hot drinks?
Because there's no coffee, you can't drink tea in Mormonism neither.
And it's basically ran by Mormons, Utah is.
Yeah, and so there's a substitute, lots and lots of soda.
What a subculture. What a freaking subculture. Like, people don't even realize, like, Utah is a whole different country.
It is.
Like, Moab, Utah. Like, dude, what the heck?
I think there was this Mormon kid from Utah that I had my FAM 103 class with, and he was one of my two best friends in that class.
Yeah?
Like, I want to run into him one day again. I miss that guy.
Was he redheaded?
Nope. He was blonde.
I ran into a Mormon in Right Pat. He's redheaded. He's a cool guy. He definitely was low-key racist. He just didn't know it. He was like, yeah, you know, he just started doing stuff, and I didn't even, like, you know, we were talking about something. He was like, yeah, you know, I love black people. And I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, you know, I think you guys are awesome. I was like, He was like, yeah, you know, when y'all be in the movies, you know, I went to this movie called Medea's. I know it was one of the Medea's, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, bro. And first of all, this is not he wasn't like overtly like prejudiced. He just didn't know any better. Like, I could tell he hadn't been around black people. This is what I'm talking about. But he was trying to relate, and it was not working out. He was like, yeah. He was like, I love it when y'all in the movies, you know? Y'all be like, ooh, ah, 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 ooh, ah. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad that you're around somebody that's understanding, because somebody else might have just took it the wrong way. But yeah, so there's that. And then I met.
Also, you could do so many better movies besides Medea.
Dude, you're not lying. I was watching this movie called Precious. You're familiar?
Yep.
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Dude, I seen that movie. The first time I seen it was when it first came out, and I didn't watch that movie again because it was so traumatizing. I mean, we're talking about S.A. and the father is the child. The father is literally the guy is the father of his daughter's children, and the mother blames the daughter for the dad doing that when the dad was just, it was, you know what I mean? So the mother, anyway. So that movie popped up in the shop when I was getting my hair done yesterday, and I was just like, I've been seeing this movie since it first came out when I was younger, and I was like, I will refuse to like actually watch it, and they were like, why? I was like, it's so traumatizing, and then it dawned on me, like, there are people, because they were like, oh, it traumatized you, and they were asking me why, and I was telling them why, and they were seeing the movie, and I was like, that's sick. And it was like, and it made me realize, like, some people have been through things that I can't even imagine, because they were like, it's whatever. I was like, no, that's not whatever. And it made me realize, like, a lot of people have been SA'd to the point where they don't think that they think that that happens to everybody. That doesn't happen to everybody.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Also, a movie from that got released that same year. Our coaches, the day of the playoff game, it was this elite. It was like the quarterfinals, 2009 season. That day, we went to Old Times when it was on Russell to go eat breakfast first.
Yeah.
And then they took us to the theater.
Old Times.
Yes, we had breakfast at Old Times.
What's that breakfast at Old Times?
What now?
Can you can hear me in this, can't you?
Yeah, I can hear.
Just put your headphones back on.
You're just whispering.
What is at breakfast at Old Times?
Just like a regular country breakfast.
Dude, I didn't even know they sold breakfast. Anyway, continue.
Back then they did.
Okay.
So they took us to see The Blind Side.
Oh. With Michael Orr?
Yeah, that did not age well.
It didn't. I can't even pretend like it did.
Yep, I wanted to see a sequel to The Blind Side where Michael Orr sues the crap out of them and wins.
Dude, that was basically, so they basically like, we took you in. We took this poor black kid in. That's a real life story of it, right?
Yep.
And
he'd been playing football since elementary school. He didn't just arrive with them and just start playing football.
Right, because it make it seem like he had no idea how to play football. But what he was saying was, I already knew how to play football.
Yep.
Y'all just took me in because of my talent, and I was smart. First of all, if you know anything about the offensive line, which I know you do because you played on it, and I played a tight end in middle school, so I know about the offensive line too. You can't be stupid. You have to know your assignments. If you don't know the pattern, right, the protection plan, the protection scheme, you're cooked. It's not just blocking. You might have to chip Buddy and leave this one open for the fullback, you know?
Yeah, we actually did use a fullback sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I know in a wing T, like, they'll have like an in reverse block for a tight end. I was tight end, I'd have to pull around and go block the end, and they would hand the ball off on a counter to the tailback.
I freaking hate the wing T.
Hey, that's making a comeback, isn't it? More simplistic offensive styles are coming back, aren't they?
Yeah, but not wing T.
No.
Not at the pro or college level.
No.
Yeah, but it's like I actually did JV snaps at defensive tackle.
Did you like it?
I actually thought I was better playing defense than I was at offense, but our defensive line was so
yeah.
I would have gotten even less playing time.
Honestly, I think that's where I missed like my calling. I think my calling was on that defensive line, but by the time I kind of figured that out, I was already in something else.
Oh, like there was way too our defensive line was way deeper than our offensive line, and I would have had no chance.
Yeah.
But it's like I hated those wing T type of offenses because, like, I'm trying to see who has the ball and trying to get off my guy at the same time, too.
No, for real, trying to get off. Yeah. I know that when I was playing defensive line in middle school, towards the end of my middle school career, I noticed that I was really good at getting in behind the line. I wasn't so good at securing a tackle, though. Like, I was great at disrupting.
Unfortunately, the only move that I didn't really practice with the defensive line, so the only move I knew was bull rush.
Yeah, it's way more sophisticated now. Like, they got Warren Sapp teaching hand movements, bro.
Yeah, but all I knew was bull rush. I couldn't even do the spin.
Yeah. No, they got, I mean, you know, the person who, in my mind, really, besides Deacon Jones, like, let's say post 90s, because you got Alan Page. Who's the other guy that was on the purple pewter? John Marshall.
Jim Marshall.
Jim Marshall.
He was an end.
He was an end. Alan Page was an end.
Alan Page was a tackle.
Oh, my bad. Alan Page wasn't. So the only two NFL defensive players, MVPs defensive players are Lawrence Taylor and Alan Page, right?
Yep.
That's not talked about enough. Alan Page is like forgotten, first of all. So Deacon Jones, Jim Marshall, Reggie White.
Reggie White was an end.
Right. We're talking about ends, right?
I thought you said defensive tackles.
I meant to say. Oh, we were talking about tackles, yeah. So my bad. Let's redo it. So we're talking about tackles. Bob Lilly.
He was a linebacker, I thought.
No. Hold on. Getting somewhere. Wait, Bob Lilly. Who is, by the way, the only, quarterback?
Only player that would win a Super Bowl MVP where his team lost.
Yeah. Why is that a thing? I hate that, but whatever. I don't care. We got Bob Lilly. If he's a linebacker, you're amazing. He's a defensive tackle.
Never mind.
Okay, so we got Bob Lilly. If I'm missing somebody post pre-2000s, let me know, okay?
Pre-2000. Warren Sapp was the 90s.
Let me get to it. Bob Lilly.
You said Alan Page.
Alan Page. Warren Sapp. I mean, I really count Warren Sapp 2000 because Warren Sapp had 10 sacks as a 34-year-old. But anyway, okay, Warren Sapp. And then the person that revolutionized defensive tackles past that point for me is Vince Wilfork.
Just because he was big.
Casey Hampton.
I'd say more Vince Wilfork because he was that big and athletic.
He was very athletic. This is very athletic. And Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald was a 3-4 end too, most of his career.
Really?
Yep, 3-4 end, same as J.J. Watt.
So what you do, you take them and spread them out as three. It's three defensive linemen?
Yep.
Okay.
He would be a defensive tackle in a 4-3.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to revolutionizing defensive ends post-2000s, besides the fact that you have Jim Marshall, Deacon Jones, Reggie White, besides that, it's Dwight Freeney, Richard Seymour, Simeon Rice, Javon Kearse. Well, Javon Kearse is 90s. No?
No, 2000 draft.
Okay. Javon Kearse. I want to say Chris Long, but you're not going to allow me to say it. So I'll move on.
Who?
Chris Long, but you're not going to allow me to say that.
I actually kind of forgot about him for a second.
I know you're not going to allow me to say it. He didn't revolutionize it. I just felt like Chris Long was really influential to the game. Kind of how I feel like Mike Dunleavy Jr. was influential to basketball.
You can definitely say Myles Garrett now.
Yeah, Myles Garrett for sure. I mean, T.J. Watt and J.J. Watt. But really, it's Myles Garrett. He just said it. Michael Strahan. That's 90s, though.
Yeah, Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack is a linebacker.
He's a 3-4 outside linebacker and a 4-3 end.
What is he going into the Hall of Fame as?
Edge rusher.
Yeah. Dwight Freeney's in the Hall?
I'm not sure.
Simeon Rice in the Hall?
I'm not sure about that either.
Why is nobody talking about Simeon Rice?
I think he's quietly having a political career in Florida now instead.
He surpassed football.
Yes.
Isn't that a beautiful thing when you can surpass football?
Mm-hmm.
Richard Seymour. Nobody says anything about Richard Seymour. Nobody.
I think some of them kind of prefer that now after being out of the limelight.
Yeah.
Once you made all your money.
Yeah, you know who else made? You know who made a resurgence though?
Who?
Corey Dillon's name made a resurgence for a second. They had him on Julian Edelman's podcast. He was talking about his time in Cincinnati and when he got traded to New England. Said he was sitting down eating a piece of chicken, which to me let me know his dedication because that let me know like how disciplined he really was in the kitchen. Because I'll be wondering, my thing is, I always wonder how dedicated an athlete is to his nutrition. That's just my thing. I always wonder, like, did this person eat right? Did this person take care of their body?
Ocho did not.
But Ocho didn't last that long either.
10 seasons, maybe?
Which is great, by the way. Let's not look at. But Ocho could have lasted longer if Ocho took. We know that, right? But how many seasons did he have that were pristine?
It was a very short.
Very
window.
short. 4. I think 4. I think he had 4 seasons where he was on it.
03 to 06?
And one of them was cut short by Carson Palmer's. You know, I think he could have had a Super Bowl ring outside of that Patriots Super Bowl he got to. I think he could have made a run the Super Bowl with Carson Palmer.
And then that knee injury happened to Carson Palmer.
Yep, first play. And a completion, too.
I think the Bengals in 2015 could have at least made the AFC title game if not for the Pac-Man and Vontaze Burfict penalties.
That was the Red Rifle days, right?
Yeah, but Andy Dalton... Actually, never mind. I take that back, too. If Andy Dalton was out for the season with a hand or finger injury, so A.J. McCarron...
Yes.
If Andy...
Yes.
If none of those penalties and Andy Dalton's playing, then they at least go to the AFC title game.
Yeah, I remember that year because it was like, Andy Dalton's not playing, A.J. McCarron's playing. And we were trying to figure out if A.J. McCarron was good or not, and we found out that he was just a placeholder.
Oh, he's a political career now in Alabama, too, A.J. McCarron.
I bet he does. He just got done playing not too long ago, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, because he was with Birmingham or something like that. Right?
I think he was trying to run for the lieutenant governor of Alabama now.
Not a bad place to do it. He definitely get the pool. One of the cheaper states to live into. Yeah. All right, man. I think
His wife is Miss Alabama.
Wait, what?
His wife was Miss Alabama.
Really?
Yep.
Dude, that's crazy.
She is fine.
Fine?
I think she was in her, I think she, old pictures of her, she was one of the hottest women on the planet to me.
Is she one of those fine where you look at him and you like, he would have not got her if he was AJ McCarron? Is she that hot?
She is that hot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to hate, but I do be looking at the pictures of athletes and their wives sometimes. I'd be like, dang, she looks so good that I know that you wouldn't have got her if you weren't in that position. But I need to stop because that sounds like hating because they are in that position. That's who they are.
I'm like, yeah, she was just gorgeous.
Let me see, man. You over here. Let me see.
AJ McCarron, Miss Alabama.
Let me see. Over here talking like she just the bomb.
Order photo of her.
Karen, Miss Alabama. So Mrs. AJ McCarron. She is very attractive, but she is not the best that I've seen.
Also, Blake Bortles' girl.
Okay. Blake Bortles' wife?
I think so, yeah. Maybe I just have different tastes.
Yeah, I think we have different tastes. She's attractive. It's just that there's also a trauma thing associated with certain groups of people as well. With me too, I have a trauma. With them. I have a trauma, and so now there's certain I won't date. Just there's a trauma attached to it. That's just me though. But yeah, those people are attractive for sure. I'm not gonna flex on that, dude. I hate also that I have this subscription to things. And I forgot about the free trial. They always forget and they charge me, and I'm real upset about it. And it was something I don't even use. I was just trying to get the free,
I'm trying to make AI cover songs, and now it charged me, and I forgot I had that subscription.
AI cover songs?
Yep, I wanted to make AI cover songs.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, but it's I was basically going to use characters singing songs.
Yeah.
It's I forgot that I had that subscription, and now it's not allowing me to cancel.
Dang. What's it called? Video?
No, it's AI.covers.
AI.covers? Yeah, I have a friend of mine who is in the music business, and they're a Christian artist, and they make AI music. They don't have the ability to sing or anything. They make AI music though.
I only made AI music as parodies. I refuse to make a legitimate song with AI.
Why, Brandon? You feel like it's cheating?
As a guy who does a musicianship for a hobby, you just like there's something about the actual human element that you're not going to be able to like really replace. Like people are going to want something authentically human in their music.
All right, so bouncing off of that, what do you think about AI being used in the workplace?
That's a different kind of thing.
Do tell.
I have used our approved AI to help me write my appraisals.
Me too.
I don't leave exactly what it said in there. It just provides me a template or framework, and then I work around that.
Do you know what I do with AI as well?
What?
I used to hide it, but I don't care anymore because they don't care about AI. I use it to write my meeting minutes. Like if I scribble something down, like if I typed it, I usually type notes. I just type, and I go back and have AI rewrite the meeting minutes for me.
Well, I think that's an actual good use of AI.
Okay, what's a bad use of AI?
Trying to the entertainment industry.
Okay, well there's this app called I think
Sora,
not Sora, Cedar.
Cedar
Is Cedar 2.0, and apparently you can make full-length films on that thing now.
Yeah. I still don't agree with that because you're going to want to connect with an actual human. I think it would depend on like the type of film that you're trying to make. But what's scary is like before AI, they were going to before AI we had deep fakes.
Yes,
and there was somebody who wanted to make a deep fake movie years ago of a deep fake Vietnam War movie starring James Dean.
The dead guy?
Yes, they wanted to deep fake James Dean as the star of a Vietnam War movie.
Isn't his intellectual property public domain now?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't think I don't think anything in the 50s is public domain now.
Hold up. Is any he said is any what? Is any
James Dean.
Is any film or music or art public domain that was made in the 50s? Let's see what it says. Yes, some films and visual art from 1950s are in public domain in the U.S., generally due to a failure to renew copyrights. But music from this era is rarely public domain. To be public domain, 1950 works usually must have lacked a copyright notice or failed attempt to renew their copyright in the 20th year. Okay, so B films indicate government works, art and images. Okay, Night of the Living Dead would be one. That's from 1968, though. Okay, how about it's James Dean? Is James Dean public domain? Here we go. James Dean's likeness, name, and persona are not public domain. They are actively managed as intellectual property by CMG. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
They wanted to deep fake him into a Vietnam War movie. He was not even alive for that war.
When did the Vietnam War start?
Late 50s, early 60s.
So right after we got out of the Korean War, we got into the Vietnam War?
I think we entered later. It was just the French at first, and then we came in.
And the French were in there because it was a French colony.
Yep.
Yeah. They enjoyed coffee because of the French. You know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. The French were in it first?
Yep.
Because it was a colony thing, right?
Yes.
And then it branched off to communism.
Yeah, I think it was called French Indochina for a bit.
Really?
Yes.
How long were they a colony?
I need to look that up.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up. It's a good conversation.
Oh, yeah. French Indochina.
You going to church tomorrow?
What now?
You going to church tomorrow?
Yeah, I plan to.
Okay, cool. I'm going to. You like the mic?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
This is somehow even better than the last one.
The one I just gave you?
Yeah, the one I'm holding right now is better than the last one.
Yeah, for sure. I know. You were speaking when you were speaking at the top of it, it was just kind of hitting a point where your P's were popping a certain way. I didn't want your P's to pop like that. I wanted it to pop like a regular P. It would kind of disperse out at the top of the mic, and I wanted it to kind of just hold its position.
French Indochina. It was a group of French-dependent territories in Southeast Asia from 1887 to 1954.
Dang, that's a long time. That's a long time, dude.
So Vietnam was a French colony for 67 years.
Yep, which means that the French language is probably gone.
Yeah, it was like 3 generations.
Yeah, it's gone now. I had a Vietnamese friend in Dublin. His family immigrated from Vietnam to the USA.
Is his name happen to be Vinny?
Yeah. How do you know that?
He was one of the groomsmen at a buddy's wedding that I went to.
You are telling stories. You're not telling the truth. Are you for real?
I'm for real.
He was a groomsman?
My buddy's wedding I went to in Valdosta, he was a groomsman.
What's your buddy's name?
Micah.
Michael what?
Scott.
Is he from here?
He's originally from Dublin.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that means he probably went to school with Vinny. He's our age?
He's 2 years younger than me.
That means he's my age.
Well, he's a year younger than you.
My age.
Yep, but I think him and Vinny didn't go to school together, but worked at a movie theater together.
Okay, so that means Vinny probably went to West Lawrence. He might have went to Dublin High School or East Lawrence.
Well, Micah went to a private school.
Okay, so he went to Trinity.
Yep.
Trinity Dublin. Trinity Christian, yeah. Yeah, I know that area very, very well. A little too well.
We both freaking know Vinny.
Yeah, he works where we work. He's a contractor.
I thought he lived in Atlanta.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he can't work where we work.
Fair enough.
He's married to a Vietnamese woman, I think.
I met his wife.
Yeah. He owns one of the soccer teams, the rival soccer team of ours.
Really?
Yeah, he owns Middle Georgia United. I play for Angeles FC, but Angeles FC was kind of started basically because of Vinny's inability to run his organization. Like we all were playing for Vinny at one point. We got out of the college and stuff like that, and did everything. We were playing for Middle Georgia United, and Middle Georgia United it's how you say it. Its base of operations is in Dublin, but for a while he was training in Macon, and then even then he was training in Peachtree City for a while. And we followed around, we trained, whatever. We played for that team for like 2 or 3 seasons. And the first season we played, we were in Peachtree City. And we should have been winning games. And we were losing because he was just bad at coaching. I mean, I remember one time, he had me show up to a game and like, you're not entitled to play. But I had been playing and training. And he was playing a dude over me that didn't go to training at all. Like, that dude hadn't been to a single training session. And I had been training for 3 weeks with him. And he started him. I didn't play a single minute. I just felt that was so disrespectful. And we ended up tying the game because that dude made a mistake. Because the mistake that he made was tied to him not being with the team. And so anyway, he was just starting to do that. He was starting to bench a lot of us, me and the guys that play for Angeles now. He would bench us and this and that, and he would just get, he would make it seem like we were the problem, but really he just didn't know how to run the team. He's not a coach. He could have benefited from having a coach and him just stepping back. But even when he did have a coach, he didn't want to step back. He was putting himself in the game, and he wasn't good. Like, and we knew him from college, too. Like, he'd always want to be on the college team that we were playing on. when we finally got his opportunity to play, like he punked out. So, it was kind of like, all right, dude, you spend your time training and working out and you don't want to play, like, what the heck? Because he knew that he would have to fall in line and he couldn't do whatever he wanted to do. Which is kind of why he's kind of like Jeff Jarrett. He's kind of like Jeff Jarrett.
Who is now happily retired.
Yeah, good. Double J, slap nuts. But, yeah, so what happened was one of the guys was so fed up that he was like, I'm going to start my own team. And so that's how we got Angeles. And we played MGC. We played Middle Georgia United last season, and we beat them like a drum. We beat them 5-2.
Wow. All of that all of that stemmed from that.
Yeah, all of it. And, I mean, it's not the sole reason, but it was one of the big reasons. Like, we saw somebody doing it wrong, and we got tired of traveling to Dublin. We even allowed, there was our childhood club, Legion FC. They created a team like that, and we followed them in their base operations in Dublin. It was just so bad, though. And here's the deal. When we, like, Vinny's team has been trying to. So there's two levels to the UPSL we play the entity, I guess, that we play in, right? The organization that we play in. What do you call it? A league. Mm-hmm. UPSL, United Premier Soccer League, and it's got teams in California, Mexico, Canada, USA. We just play in the southern region. And we play in the region. We got Tennessee teams. We got Chattanooga Red Wolves, U23, Chattanooga FC 23, North Georgia teams, Atlanta United's academies in there, whatever. But anyway, so we play. There's two divisions in there, though. There's Division 1, which is the lowest level, and then Premier Division, which is the highest. There's a promotion and relegation. You can get promoted to Division 1. Everybody starts in Division 1, though. You get promoted to Premier. If you in Premier, you can challenge for the $100,000 prize.
Ooh.
Yeah. You got to qualify for nationals. You can qualify for the U.S. Open Cup. What I'm trying to make is Vinny's team has never been in the highest division. And he's been in there I think his team's almost been 6 years now.
Yay.
2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 8 years. Dude, Angeles was created last season. Like the fall season, 2025. In our first season, we promoted to the Premier League, Premier Division. First season. Because it was ran well. You see, you can have all the players you want, dude, but if your organization is ran well, you're going to look like the Giants. You're going to look like the Falcons. You're going to look like the Jets. You're going to look like the Jets. You're going to look like the Browns.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Mike Brown of the Bengals is the cheapest owner in the NFL.
Yeah, bar none.
The story I heard, like, he was so cheap. The Bengals didn't have, for a while, the Bengals didn't even have any electric outlets in their locker room to plug your phone in. Like, they didn't even have any outlets.
That's awful. Yeah, isn't it, like, don't they have to, like, walk from a certain place? They have to walk across the street to get to their practice facility or something like that.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. As a player, I would be like, you can get hurt.
Yeah, everybody says that the Dolphins. A lot of players say that the NFLPA survey say the Dolphins and the Vikings were the most well-run organizations.
I can see that.
And even though the Chiefs scored on the lower end.
Yeah, the Chiefs are on the lower end. They have the same locker room from Priest home days.
Not just locker room, but overall team management. But still, they're successful.
Yeah.
And at one point, the Jaguars locker room had rats.
Yeah, see, that's a franchise that seems to me like it could be a poor man's franchise. Jacksonville, just because of the market, Cleveland, you know how Cleveland seems like it's a toilet bowl. New York has ran poorly, and it's just like, but why? New York seems like it should have the most potential.
Dallas will be a threat when Jerry Jones is gone.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely ran poorly because of Jerry. That's his fault.
Yeah, once Jerry is gone, Dallas will be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I would say that. Like, the Giants is an awful ran organization, too. Once the Maras sell their majority stake, we'll be okay.
Oh, and it's Steve Tisch you have to worry about now.
No, they ain't even, dude.
He was in the files.
Joe.
Him and the Commanders owner, Josh Harris.
The one that owns it right now?
Yep.
Dang, I thought they got away from bad owners. Dang. Magic's not in there, is he?
No.
Okay, good. Because he owns a stake in the Commanders.
I think Russell Wilson is in the files only because Epstein tried to sell him his plane and Russ wanted to fly the plane.
Oh, my gosh.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Russell Wilson just had the most innocent reason for being in the files.
No, for real. Just shows how great of a man of God he is. Yeah, you know what's funny? I realized something, too. Even though, like, obviously, like, I have an affinity for Russell Wilson, and he's also, you know, he's a New York Giant as well. But looking at Russell Wilson made me realize something. I have to be a little more humble when it comes to, like, dating and looking for, because my mindset is like, and a lot of dudes' mindset is, I don't want to date leftovers. I don't want to date a whore or whatever. Sierra is a baby mama to Future, and she had a kid when he met him,
and she's still with Russell today.
So if Sierra's good enough for Russell,
they've been together for like 14 years.
Yeah, so like, which is crazy. So, and Sierra's hot too, gosh. But if it's good enough for Russell, maybe it has to be good enough for me.
I'm starting to think the same way. I'm at least opening myself up to widows.
Yeah. Are we settling?
I think, well, I wouldn't call it settling, but we're more open, I should say.
I don't feel like it's the same way in women's world. I feel like they feel like that word is a nasty word. The connotation to settling, right? It's like, if I'm settling, I'm going for the lowest. I don't want to go for the lowest, but I don't either. I think it just depends on where you are socioeconomically. That's what you end up with. I hate to say that, but it seems like that more and more. It seems like it's like and I guess we're getting deeper into the conversation now. I didn't think we'd get here, but whatever. They used to say, the money don't make the man make the money. It just seems to me like the money makes the man now.
Bracket.
Say it again.
It's your faith. The people that you will have the most in common with are the people in your tax bracket.
Yeah. And that's just the way it is. And we can't act like it isn't. Like, for example, have you ever heard the phrase some people use, wealth is quiet?
Yep. Okay,
wealth is not quiet. Wealth is hella loud. Wealth is just quiet around you. That person that will say that. Wealth is quiet around you because the people that are around you that have wealth, they don't want you to know they have it. They don't flaunt it around you because they don't want you to know that they have it. But when they're around people that have the same amount of money as them, or they feel like it's on their level, they'll flaunt it. You know, because I see wealth all the time. I see people that got it all the time. I go to a CrossFit gym, like, I see people that got it all the time, and they're very comfortable with it. So I don't know about this whole, wealth is quiet thing.
I am that guy. I don't say I'm wealthy, but I'm not. I don't try to set myself up as a target.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. I think you're smart about it. I think the people that are doing it to get attention, I just feel like they are missing something.
I think those are actually poor people, and they're.
Oh. You know what T.I. said? Unhappy with the riches because you're piss poor morally. You know?
They have some nice things, but they got into some debt to get them. Oh, and I think it was somebody who said, like, what was it, Pit My Ride or Cribs? Like, they didn't really have, that wasn't really their stuff. Some of those places, those cars and houses, they were renting.
Yeah, there's one person in particular that kept it real on Cribs, and everybody appreciated for that. And I didn't know it at the time, but now I realize as I got older, Redman had the only episode where he kept it real. He was like, hey, come in my house. And he went upstairs. Dude, literally, like, he was just like, here's my room. I got everything here. It wasn't fancy. There was one more person that showed they showed their hotel room. I think it was Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh was like, yeah, I got this grilled cheese maker. It was his iron. We're talking about one of the greatest producers to ever step foot on the earth, period. Across any, you know what I mean?
And it was a literal hotel room.
Yeah, it's like a little hotel room. It's like, this is my grilled cheese maker. You know what I mean? It was like, this is my space, you know? But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. Like, you know, like there are people who they will be in debt just to get a point across. Or, you know, it's kind of wild because like I see like government workers that be flexing. But, you know, I don't mean to count their pockets. That's not me.